Introduction: The Forgotten Architect. Welcome to the Library of the Akashic Records. What you are about to hear is not a book of mythology. It is not a collection of tales about ibis-headed gods and dusty desert rituals. If you are looking for religion, close this audio. If you are looking for comfort, leave. This is an operations manual. This is the source code of reality. Thousands of years ago, an advanced intelligence known in Egypt as Thoth and in Greece as Hermes Trismegistus left a legacy engraved in indestructible emerald. Humanity, in its intellectual infancy, called these teachings magic. Today, our most rigorous science, quantum physics, has finally matured enough to understand the truth. Magic is simply a science that we did not yet understand. What Thoth described as the all, or the monad, modern physicists call the unified field. What Thoth called mentalism, science calls the observer effect. What the ancients called vibration, string theory confirms as the basis of matter. There is no difference. The mystic and the physicist have been studying the same mountain from opposite sides, and today, at the summit, they have met. They have taught you that you are a small being, a body of flesh and bone, insignificant, trapped in a mechanical and cold universe at the mercy of fate and luck. That is the greatest lie ever told. That is the programming designed to keep you as an NPC, a non-playable character within the simulation, an extra in someone else's movie. The Code of Thoth reveals that you are not in the universe. You are the universe. You are the monad experiencing itself from a focal point of consciousness. You are not the cork floating in the sea. You are the entire ocean pretending to be a drop. In the next 12 chapters, we are going to decipher the Atlantean technology to hack the Matrix. You will learn that reality is not solid. It is a flexible hologram that responds to your attention. You will discover that your voice does not only emit sound, but it emits programming commands, Heka. You will understand how to collapse the wave function to materialize probable futures, and how to use hermetic laws not as philosophy, but as levers to move the world. Forget everything you think you know about who you are. That limited and fearful you is about to die so that the architect can be born. Thoth, the scribe of the gods, left us the keys to the kingdom. But keys are useless if you do not have the courage to open the door. The door is in front of you. The code has been decrypted. The simulation is awaiting your orders. Are you ready to stop being a creation and start being the creator? Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the Code of Thoth. Chapter 1: The Observer, the Eye of Horus. The universe has no favorites. The universe has no plans for you. The universe is an ocean of infinite possibilities waiting for an order, and that order is not given with words, nor with screams, nor with tears. That order is given with the gaze. Thoth taught that all is mind. Modern physics has shown that all is wave until it is observed. For centuries you have believed that your eyes are passive windows through which the world enters. You were wrong. Your eyes are active projectors through which the world emerges. What you look at becomes matter. What you ignore returns to nothingness. Welcome to the mystery of the Eye of Horus. To understand the Code of Thoth, we must first destroy humanity's most persistent illusion, the illusion of objectivity. We have been taught since childhood that there is a real world out there, a solid world made of rocks, trees, buildings, and people. We are told that this world exists independently of us. We are told that if we close our eyes and die, the world remains exactly the same. We are told that we are small spectators in a giant theater that was already built before we arrived. This worldview is what makes us slaves. If the world is objective and solid, then you are a victim. If a stone falls, it hits you. If the economy collapses, you are ruined. You have no voice or vote. You only have the capacity to react. But more than 100 years ago, in 1909, an experiment in a dark basement shattered this illusion forever. And in doing so, it validated what the Egyptian priests taught in the mystery schools under the Great Pyramid. The crack in the matrix, the double-slit experiment. Thomas Young and the fathers of quantum physics discovered something that should not be possible, something that terrified Einstein. They fired particles of light, photons, and matter, electrons, toward a barrier with 2 slots. When no one was looking, without a measuring device, the particles behaved like waves. They passed through both slots at once like water, creating an interference pattern. They were everywhere and nowhere. They existed in superposition. It was pure potentiality. But the moment they placed a detector, an eye, to see which slot the particle passed through, the miracle occurred. The particle stopped being a wave. It stopped being a ghost of possibilities. It collapsed and became a solid ball of matter, passing through a single slot. The universe knew it was being watched. The act of conscious observation forced the energy to make a decision. It forced the ghost to become reality. This is the observer effect. And this does not happen only with electrons in a laboratory. It happens with you right now. You are made of electrons. Your bank account is made of energy. Your relationships are made of energy. Everything in your life exists in a state of wave, infinite possibilities, until you, the observer, fix your attention on it. In that moment, you freeze the wave and turn it into your physical reality. Thoth called it mentalism. The universe is mental. He did not mean the universe is imaginary. He meant that matter is the final product of condensed mind. The Eye of Horus is a technical diagram of the collapse of the wave function. It is the eye that creates. Toes the original sin, the unconscious observer. If we have the power to create reality with our attention, why is your life not perfect? Why is there poverty, disease, and pain? Because no one taught you how to use the eye. Most human beings are unconscious observers. Or even worse, they are reactive observers. They function like this. They look at current reality. They see their bank account at zero. They react emotionally. They feel fear and scarcity. They collapse the wave. By observing scarcity with intense emotion, they tell the quantum field, "This is real." The field obeys. It materializes more scarcity for tomorrow. It is a hellish feedback loop. You look at the problem. You create more problem. You look at the bigger problem. You create more problem. You are the architect of your own prison. Every time you complain about your bad luck, you are using the divine power of the Eye of Horus to solidify that bad luck. You use a God tool to build a cell. The evil eye spoken of in superstitions is not a curse cast by a witch. The evil eye is your own gaze charged with fear and judgment over your own life. When you look in the mirror and think, "How old I am," you are collapsing the wave function of cellular aging. You are ordering your cells to die faster. When you look at the news and say the world is dangerous, you are collapsing the wave function of violence in your environment. You are the observer who decides which version of reality becomes solid in your experience. 3. The awakening of Horus' divine vision. In mythology, Horus loses his eye in a battle against Seth, the god of chaos and darkness. Thoth, the wise one, repairs Horus's eye and returns it to him. But now it is a magic eye, an eye that sees the truth. What does this mean? Seth represents your physical senses, your normal eyes, those that see chaos, limitation, and fear. Thoth gives you back quantum vision. The initiate stops looking at what is and starts looking at what could be. Here is the secret of the code. You must ignore 3D reality to be able to change it. This sounds like madness to the logical mind, but it is pure physics. The reality you see now, home, salary, body, is the past. It is the light of a dead star. It is the result of your observations from yesterday, a month ago, a year ago. If you keep looking at that, you keep recycling the past. To create a new future, you have to withdraw your attention from current matter and place it on the wave of possibility. The divine observer does this, sees the account at zero, matter past, does not react, does not give it emotional energy, says, "This is just old data," closes their eyes or uses their inner eye and observes a full account, wave, future, feels the reality of that full account, collapses the new wave. The quantum field begins to reorganize probabilities. It is an act of scientific faith. It is not faking. It is understanding that the full account exists in quantum superposition right now in the monad. It is as real as the empty one, only no one was looking at it. You decide to illuminate it with your eye. Favor the superposition field, the hallway of doors. Imagine you are in an infinite hallway full of doors. That is the monad. That is the unified field. Behind one door, you are a millionaire. Behind another, you are a beggar. Behind another, you are sick. Behind another, you are an Olympic athlete. All doors exist simultaneously. You do not have to build the millionaire's room. It is already there, furnished and waiting. But the hallway is in darkness. You carry a flashlight on your forehead, your attention, the eye. Where you point the light, reality comes to life. If you point the light at the sickness door, you enter it. If you point the light at the success door, you enter it. The problem is that your flashlight trembles. You point at success for a second, then you get scared and point at failure. Then you look at what the neighbor is doing, envy, and point at their door. The quantum field cannot materialize anything solid because your gaze is erratic. The mastery of Thoth consists in stabilizing the pulse, keeping the gaze fixed on the chosen door, ignoring the screams and noises coming from the other dark doors until that door opens. The myth of objectivity. You are the experiment. Heisenberg, another quantum giant, said, "What we observe is not nature itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning. The universe is a question. You are the answer." If you ask the universe, with your attitude, "Why is everything so difficult?" The universe, which is a quantum search engine, will search all possible superpositions to show you all the reasons why life is difficult. It will give you traffic, debts, breakdowns, pain, because you asked for it. Your observation was the search. If you change the question to, "How can I be so lucky?" the universe will collapse the waves that match lucky. You will find money in the street. Old friends will call you. Traffic lights will turn green. It is not magic. It is the algorithm of the monad responding to the user. Thoth teaches us that the wise person never asks victim questions. The wise person makes observation decrees. I observe beauty, and beauty appears. I observe opportunity, and opportunity appears. The wise person walks through a world different from the fools, even if they live on the same street. Physically, they are in the same place. Quantumly, they are in parallel universes. The quantum Zeno paradox. Don't watch the pot. There is a technical warning in the Code of Thoth. In physics, it is called the quantum Zeno effect. If you observe a system with too much frequency and anxiety, you freeze it. It is the equivalent of a watched pot never boils. If you plant a seed, and every 5 minutes you dig it up to see if it grew, you kill it. Observation must be confident, not anxious. Anxious observation. Has it arrived? Why isn't it arriving? I need it. Is an observation of absence. You are observing the lack of the thing. Therefore, you collapse the wave of lack. You perpetuate the weight. The master's observation is detached. It is knowing the seed is there. It is watering it with the mind. But it is letting the darkness of the earth do its work. The Eye of Horus does not look with desperation. It looks with certainty. The hawk, Horus, flies high. It watches its prey from the sky. It knows it will hunt it. It does not worry, it just waits for the moment. That is the gaze you must cultivate. The gaze of the hawk, fixed, cold, steady, and lethally precise. 7th, entanglement, we are all one, the monad. The monad is the unity. Physics calls it quantum entanglement. If two particles interact once, they remain connected forever. If you change the spin of one, the other changes instantly, even if it is on the other side of the galaxy. Thoth says, we all come from the same one. This means you are quantumly entangled with everything that exists, with the money you want, with the person you love, with the job you desire. They are not far away. Distance is an illusion of space-time. At the level of the monad, you are already touching your desire. The conscious observer uses this entanglement. It does not try to attract something from far away, misunderstood law of attraction. It recognizes that it is already connected to it. It simply pulls the string of entanglement to bring it into visible experience. When you observe someone with love, you alter their biochemistry. When you observe someone with hate, you send them quantum poison, and since you are entangled, that poison travels down the string and poisons you too. That is why the Code of Thoth insists on Mat, righteousness, balance. not for religious morality, but for quantum hygiene. If you damage the other, you damage yourself. Fate, the holographic matrix. We live in a hologram. In a hologram, every small part contains the information of the entire image. If you cut a normal photo into pieces, you lose the image. If you cut a hologram, each piece still projects the entire image, only with less resolution. This means you have the information of the whole universe inside you. The kingdom of heaven is within. You do not need to learn anything new. You need to remember and refocus. Defocus the sight from the trivial to focus the sight on the essential. Thoth was the master of scribes. He wrote reality. You write reality with your attention. Your attention is the ink. Night practice, the Eye of Horus protocol. How do we apply this today in the 21st century? We are going to install new software in your mind. From today, you will practice selective observation. Step 1. The visual diet. Stop observing garbage. If you see news of crisis, you collapse crisis. Turn it off. If you see Instagram accounts that make you feel inferior, you collapse inferiority. Stop following them. Protect your eye. Do not let anything in that you do not want to see materialized in your life. Step 2. Laser focus. Choose a goal. Let's say perfect health. For 5 minutes a day, close physical eyes and open the Eye of Horus. Observe yourself running, jumping, breathing deep. Do not imagine it as a movie. Observe it as a spy watching a parallel reality. Feel the texture. Step 3. Denial of the illusion. When your body hurts, do not say, I am sick. Say, I'm processing a recalibration. My natural state is health. Deny the authority of matter. Give authority to your vision. This requires a discipline of steel. It is the battle of Horus against Seth. Seth, the pain, will scream at you. Horus, the vision, must remain impassive. X the quantum leap. People believe change is gradual, step by step. In the quantum world, electrons do not move from A to B. They disappear from A and reappear in B, without passing through the middle. It is a quantum leap. You can do the same. You can change your life overnight if you manage to change your observation radically. If today you go to sleep observing yourself as a victim, and tomorrow you wake up and without doubting for a second, observe yourself as a god in training, you have leaped. Reality will take a little while to rearrange the furniture, the mirror delay, but the leap has already occurred. The old you no longer exists. The old wave function has collapsed. A new wave function has been born. By sustaining the new observation, you force the physical world to catch up with the high frequency of your vision, manifesting a life of glory and power. Chapter 2. As above, so below the holographic universe. You look in the mirror and see a finite body. You look at the sky and see an infinite cosmos. You have been taught they are two different things. You have been lied to. The atom is a miniature solar system. Your DNA is a compressed galaxy. There is no difference between the structure of a neuron and the cosmic web of stars. Thoth engraved on the emerald, that which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below, to perform the miracles of one only thing. This is not a religious metaphor. It is the technical description of a fractal holographic universe. You are the universe zipped. Edit it to change reality. Humanity lives in a perceptive schizophrenia. We separate everything. We separate God from man. We separate mind from matter. We separate health from emotions. We separate success from identity. We believe we can have mental chaos above and have an ordered and rich life below. It is impossible. It violates correspondence. The Code of Thoth teaches us that the universe works through fractal patterns. A fractal is a geometric figure that repeats itself at different scales infinitely. If you zoom into a fractal, you see the same shape as if you zoom out. A Romanesco broccoli is a fractal. A snowflake is a fractal. You are a fractal. What happens in the microcosm of your thoughts is replicated with mathematical precision in the macrocosm of your circumstances. You cannot escape yourself because wherever you go, the fractal unfolds and creates the stage based on your internal code. Your reality is an exact mirror of your current internal configuration. The theory of the holographic universe. In the 20th century, physicists like David Bohm and neuroscientists like Carl Pribram reached an amazing conclusion that validated Thoth. Reality is a hologram. What is special about a hologram? If you take a normal photo of an apple and cut it in half, you have half an apple. But if you take a holographic film, it is different. If you cut that holographic film in half and then illuminate that piece with a laser, you see the whole apple. If you cut it into 100 tiny pieces, each piece, no matter how small, projects the complete apple, though with less resolution. The part contains the whole. This is terrifying and liberating at the same time. It means you contain the complete information of the universe. The kingdom of heaven is not a geographical place. It is an access level on your own hard drive. It means you do not need to travel anywhere to find truth, wealth, or God. Everything is encoded in every cell of your body. You are the source of all that you seek. When Thoth says, "as above, so below," he is giving us the user manual for the hologram. Above, the information field, mind, software, quantum. Below, the materialization field, matter, hardware, physical. The screen below only shows what the code above dictates. If you don't like the movie, rewriting the code is the only way. So the slave's error, cleaning the mirror. Most people try to change their lives by operating only in the below. They have money problems below. Solution? They work more hours, take out loans, steal, or play the lottery. But their mindset, above, remains one of scarcity and fear. What happens? The law of correspondence acts relentlessly against them. Since the internal pattern is scarcity, external reality must realign with scarcity. The lottery winner loses everything in 2 years. The workaholic gets sick and spends money on doctors. The fractal self-corrects. It is as if you smudge your face with mud. You look in the mirror and see the smudge in the reflection today. The slave tries to clean the smudge by rubbing the mirror glass. He rubs and rubs. He gets tired and frustrated. The smudge won't go away. Of course not. The smudge is not on the mirror, below. The smudge is on your face, above. The master, the initiate of Thoth, washes his face. He changes his identity and his beliefs. He changes his vibration. And automatically, without effort, the reflection in the mirror changes. Money stays. Health improves. Relationships heal. Because now the below has no choice but to reflect the new above. Matter is a slave to the mind, never the other way around. To change the world, you must first change yourself. Third, financial correspondence, your internal thermostat. Let's talk about money, because it is where the fracture of the hologram is most noticeable. Your bank account is not an objective number, it is a shadow. It is the shadow of your internal value thermostat. If you believe, above, that money is evil, hard to get, or that you are not worth much, your reality will follow. Your reality, below, will create perfect sabotage mechanisms to keep you poor. You will lose your wallet. The car will break down. You will make bad investments. The hologram needs you to be poor to maintain coherence with your belief. The universe hates dissonance. It will always seek to match your state of being now. If you feel like a beggar but have $1 million, the universe will correct the error by taking the million. If you feel like a millionaire but are broke, the universe will correct it by giving you the million. Donald Trump has been ruined several times and always becomes rich again. His internal fractal is of wealth. The Code of Thoth tells you, do not seek money. Seek to raise your mental pattern to the level where money is natural. As within, so without. If inside there is chaos and fear, outside there will be crisis and loss. If inside there is order and certainty, outside there will be stability and gain. Audit your mind today now. IV, the body as a map, the biology of belief. Your body is the densest manifestation of your unconscious mind. Every thought generates a chemical cascade, neuropeptides, that bathes your cells. If you live with repressed anger, above, your liver or your heart, below, will manifest inflammation. Disease is not bad luck, it is a physical message. Disease is the fractal of an unresolved mental conflict manifesting in flesh. It is the body screaming what the mouth keeps silent. As it is in emotion, it is in the cell. Modern medicine often fails in chronic diseases because it tries to fix the below symptoms with pills without changing the above stress fear. The Hermetic healer knows that to heal the body, he must first heal perception. He must change the signal that the mind sends to the biological hologram. By realigning the mental state with the frequency of health, the physical tissues begin to follow the new blueprint, allowing for true and lasting regeneration today. How you do one thing, you do everything. Here we enter the practical and brutal application of the principle. Many people say, "I'm a mess at home, but I am very professional at my work." Lie. The fractal repeats itself. If you are messy in your room, you have mental clutter, and that mental clutter will manifest in your work as a lack of strategic clarity now. If you are unpunctual with your friends, you are unpunctual with your commitments to yourself. If you betray in the small, you will betray in the large. As it is in the micro, so it is in the macro. This is the most powerful diagnostic tool in the world. Want to know how your future big business will be? Look at your body. Look at how you treat your body today. Want to know how your marriage will be? Look at how you treat yourself when you are alone. You cannot hide from the fractal. The way you wash dishes is the way you lead your empire. If you wash dishes with rage, impatience, and neglect, you will lead your company the same way now. The initiate uses this to his advantage. He knows that if he makes his bed impeccably every morning, he is sending a signal of order and discipline to the universe. By the law of correspondence, that order begins to affect his finances and his big projects. He hacks the macro by ordering the micro. It is spiritual discipline. Be the shadow, what you deny submits you. The principle of as within, so without has a dangerous clause. Everything you deny, hide, or repress inside you, your shadow, will manifest in your exterior as fate. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You must face your truth. If you repress your aggressiveness, I am a peaceful person, you will attract violent people. Why? Because your inside has repressed violence. By correspondence, your outside must show violence. The universe puts mirrors in front of you so you see what you refuse to see inside. Your tyrant boss is a mirror. He is a mirror of your own internal tyranny. Perhaps you are very self-critical. Your unfaithful partner is a mirror of your own infidelity. Perhaps you are unfaithful to yourself, not respecting your dreams. Do not blame the mirror. It is doing you a favor by showing hidden data. Thank the tyrant and the traitor. They are messengers. They are telling you, look inside. Fix this inside and I will disappear from your life. And it is magical. As soon as you integrate the shadow and heal the internal conflict, the external tyrant either changes or disappears. The hologram reconfigures instantly when the pattern changes today now. Servants, Indra's net, we are all connected. In Hindu mythology, which shares roots with the Atlantean, they speak of Indra's net, an infinite net of jewels. Each jewel reflects all the other jewels in the net. If one jewel shines, all shine. If one darkens, all dim. This explains the social impact of your vibration. You believe your thoughts are private. Error, your thoughts are waves in the quantum field. If you are depressed, you are contaminating the net. You are making the world a worse place, literally. If you rise, you are raising the planetary vibrational average. As it is in one, so it is in all. Saving yourself is saving the world in your life now. You cannot help anyone if you are broken, because you will project your breakage on them. The sacred egoist works on his own perfection, knowing that by polishing his own jewel, he is illuminating the entire net of Indra. Your personal evolution is the greatest service you can provide to the collective consciousness. C, the fractal alignment protocol. How do we align the above with the below to manifest the desired reality? We need to synchronize 3 levels. 1. Thought, electric chi architect. 2. Emotion, magnetic fuel. 3. Action, physical builder. Most fail because they have misaligned levels. They think, I want to be rich, but feel fear. They feel fear about not paying rent and act with desperation. Result, chaos. The hologram receives contradictory signals and produces static noise. The initiate's protocol, vision, above, define clearly what you want. Feeling, within, generate the emotion of already having it. Action, below, act now. Act in the physical world as if you were already that person. This third point is key. Act as if. It doesn't mean spending money you don't have. It means walking with the dignity of a king, even if you are on a bus. It means speaking with the confidence of a CEO, even if you are the intern. Dress with self-respect today. By faking the behavior of the higher level at the lower level, you are hacking the system. You are forcing the fractal to level up. You are creating a vacuum that the universe must fill with reality. If you walk, talk, and feel like a winner, reality will correct the code error by providing the funds to match. Size, the time trap, the echo. There is a technical detail that confuses novices. The principle as above, so below has a time delay, lag, on the physical plane. Matter is dense. When you change your above, your mind, the below, your reality, does not change instantly. It is like turning the rudder of an ocean liner today in your life. You turn today, the ship turns in 10 minutes. During that delay, you live in the echo of the past. You have changed your mind, you are positive, you work hard, but your reality is still shit. This is where 99% give up. They say, this doesn't work. I thought positive for 2 days and I'm still poor today. They return to the old pattern. The master knows that what he sees today is the reflection of his thoughts from months ago. He is not fooled by the echo. He persists. He keeps the above elevated, ignoring the below temporarily. He knows that, by physical law, the ship has to turn. Faith is staying stable. X. The power of symbols. Thoth taught us to use symbols. Hieroglyphs were not just letters, they were reality activators. A symbol is a bridge between the above, subconscious, and the below, conscious. Surround your environment, below, with symbols representing what you want, above. If you want wealth, have a bill on your desk. Look at it, touch it. If you want wisdom, have books. If you want strength, have weights. It is not decoration. It is environmental programming. You are modifying the physical fractal to influence the mental fractal. Remember, the path is two-way. The mind influences the environment, but the environment also influences. It influences the mind. If you live in a dump, it is very difficult to have clean thoughts. Clean your house, organize your closet, throw away what is broken. By doing so, you are freeing up RAM in your brain. You are performing sympathetic magic. Order below, order above. Your space is your mind made visible. Chapter 3. Vibration, the voice of Heka. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. This is the third great law that Thoth engraved on the emerald. Look at the table in front of you. It seems solid, still, and dead. It is an optical illusion. If you could see it with atomic eyes, you would see a swarm of particles spinning at dizzying speeds, appearing and disappearing in the void. There are no things in the universe. There are only events. There are only frequencies. The only difference between gold and lead, or between a thought of hate and a thought of love, is the speed at which they vibrate. And the best-kept secret of the Egyptian priests is that you possess the supreme device to alter that speed. Your voice. Welcome to the world of Heka. Modern science has reached a conclusion that mystics knew millennia ago. The universe is a symphony. String theory, the leading candidate for the theory of everything, proposes that at the most fundamental level of reality, there are no points or little balls. There are filaments of vibrating energy, strings. Depending on how that string vibrates, the particle manifests as an electron, a quark, or a photon. That is, matter is music. Reality is densified sound. Pythagoras called it the music of the spheres. Thoth taught it as the principle of vibration. If you understand this, you understand that you cannot change your life by manipulating matter. You cannot change your life from the outside. That is like trying to change a song by shouting at the radio. To change reality, you have to change the emission signal. You have to change the vibration, and the most potent, direct, and physical tool for altering vibration is sound. In ancient Egypt, magic was not waving wands. Magic was called Heka. Heka means the activation of the ka, the soul vital energy, through the word. For the Egyptians, to pronounce the name of something was to give it life. It was not poetry. It was acoustic physics. They knew that sound organizes matter. Today, the science of cymatics demonstrates this visually. If you put sand on a metal plate and apply a sound frequency, the sand automatically organizes into perfect and complex geometric patterns, mandalas. If you change the sound, the pattern changes instantly. Sound is the architect of form. You are the metal plate, your life is the sand, your voice is the sound. What pattern are you creating? The architecture of silence and noise. We live in an ocean of vibrations. Everything emits a frequency. Colors are vibrations of light. Sounds are vibrations of air. Thoughts are electromagnetic vibrations. Even inanimate objects have a natural resonance frequency. The problem of modern humans is that they have lost control of their dial. They vibrate by reaction, not by choice. If you enter a room where people are angry, you feel the bad vibe. It is not a metaphor. Literally, their electromagnetic fields are vibrating at a low, dense, and chaotic frequency. If you are not a master, your own strings will enter into sympathetic resonance with them. You will begin to vibrate in anger. You will be infected. You will have become an instrument played by another musician. The initiate in the Code of Thoth learns to be impermeable. They learn to emit a signal so strong and stable that instead of catching the ambient noise, they tune the environment to their tone. It is the tuning fork effect. If you strike a large and strong tuning fork and bring it near other stationary tuning forks, the others will begin to vibrate in the note of the large one. The leader, the healer, the conscious millionaire is a human tuning fork. They enter a room of chaos and without saying much impose a vibration of order. But to achieve this, you must first master your own Heka. 2. The word as programming code. In the Bible, which inherits much from Egypt, it is said, "In the beginning was the Word, Logos, and the Word was God." It does not say, "In the beginning was the light," or matter. It was sound, word. Sound is the bridge between the mental world, above, and the physical world below. Thought is pure and fast. Matter is dense and slow. The spoken word is in the middle. It has physical structure, it moves air, but is born from the mind. It is the rendering mechanism. Every time you open your mouth, you are executing a code script in the matrix. Most people execute malware. Listen to how poor and sick people talk. "I'm dead tired. This is going to kill me. I don't have a cent. I always have bad luck. Life is a struggle." Do you think they are just expressions? For your DNA and for the quantum field, they are literal commands. The word abracadabra comes from the Aramaic avracadabra, which means, "I create as I speak." That is the definition of Heka. If you say, "I am sick," your cells, which listen to your vibration, say, "The boss has ordered sickness. Lower the immune system. Carry out the order." And you get sick. If you say, "I can't afford it," your reticular system blocks your brain so you don't see opportunities to make money. It blinds you to fulfill your prophecy. You are using the most powerful black magic against yourself. You are a sorcerer who casts curses every morning in front of the mirror. The frequency of truth versus lies. There is a modern tool called kinesiology, muscle testing, that demonstrates something terrifying. The body weakens instantly when you tell a lie or a word of low vibration. The body strengthens when you tell a truth or a word of high vibration. If you say hate, your muscles lose strength. If you say love, your muscles gain resistance. David Hawkins, in his map of consciousness, calibrated emotions in Hertz logarithmic scale. Shame, 20 Hertz, near death. Fear, 100 Hertz. Anger, 150 Hertz. Courage, 200 Hertz, the turning point where you start to have power. Love, 500 Hertz. Enlightenment, 700 plus. Hertz, to manifest a high-quality reality, wealth, health, freedom, you need to be vibrating high. You cannot tune in the FM 105.0 station if your radio is stuck in the AM 20. It is physically impossible to attract a life of love, 500 Hertz, if your dominant vibration is fear, 100 Hertz. They are parallel realities that do not touch. The Code of Thoth is not about asking God to give you things. It is about raising your vibration to the point where those things naturally exist. In the frequency of love and gratitude, abundance is the natural state. You don't have to attract it, you simply stop repelling it. Tavi, the decree, the voice of command. Thoth teaches us the difference between praying, victim mode, and decreeing, God mode. Traditional prayer is often a vibration of lack. Please, give me this that I do not have. It assumes absence. It reinforces lack. The decree is a vibration of authority. I am. When Moses asked for God's name, the bush said, I am that I am. I am is the system's administrator password. Whatever you put after I am becomes your reality. Never say I am followed by something you do not want to be. Bad. I'm a mess. Bad. I'm shy. Good. I am power. I am abundance. I am the resurrection. The secret of the decree is not just the words, it is the tone. It is the acoustic intention. You can say I am rich with a trembling voice and fear, and it will not work. The underlying vibration, fear, cancels the word. The decree of Heka must come from the diaphragm, from the belly, charged with electrical certainty. It must sound like a fait accompli. Thoth says, speak as if your word were universal law because it is. When you align your thought above your emotion, heart, and your voice, throat, you create a standing wave, a sound structure capable of coagulating light into matter. Silence the canvas of sound. For sound to have power, it needs to be born from silence. If your mind is a constant noise of junk thoughts, your vibration is static. It is white noise. The universe cannot understand your orders because there is too much interference. The magician of Thoth cultivates silence. Before casting a spell decree, they enter the void. They accumulate energy. And then, zap, they release the single word. A word spoken from absolute silence has more power than 1,000 shouted speeches. Silence cleans the channel. Silence increases the wave amplitude. Practice word fasting. Spend hours without speaking. Accumulate the pressure of Heka in your throat. And when you speak, let it be to create, heal, or instruct. Do not waste your magic on gossip, complaints, or trivialities. Every word spent on nonsense is a gold ingot thrown into the sea. Music and external programming. If you are vibration, then you are programmable by the music you listen to. Music enters directly into your subconscious without passing through the logical filter. Tell me what you listen to, and I will tell you what your future is like. If you listen to songs that talk about betrayal, pain, drugs, and crime, you are programming your biocomputer. You are programming it to replicate betrayal, pain, and crime. You are doing negative hypnosis. You sing the lyric, "Without you, I die," and your nervous system registers, emotional dependency activated. The initiate is extremely selective with their sound diet. Listen to frequencies that elevate. Classical music, complex mathematical structure, solfeggio frequencies, 432 Hz, 528 Hz, mantras, or silence. It is not a matter of musical taste, it is a matter of mental engineering. If you want to build a skyscraper, do not use demolition music. There's the laryngeal chakra, the stargate. In the energy system, the throat, Vishuddha, is the center of purification and manifestation. It is the bridge between the heart, feeling, and the head, thinking. If your throat is blocked, you are afraid to speak, you lie, you swallow your truths, your ability to manifest atrophies. The energy stagnates. Thoth is often associated with the ibis, a bird. Singing. To activate the code, you must unblock your voice. Many have knots in their throat. Childhood traumas. Shut up. Don't bother. Those knots are vibratory blocks that prevent your Heka from flowing. You have to break them. How? By screaming in a safe place, singing, humming. Humming with the mouth closed, the mmm sound, is a powerful technique. It vibrates the vagus nerve, relaxes the nervous system, and breaks energetic calcifications in the pineal gland and the throat. Your voice is your sword. You have to sharpen it. Phase, vibratory transmutation alchemy. The principle of vibration has an incredible practical application. You can change your mental state by changing your physical vibration. You are depressed, low, slow vibration. The mind tells you, stay in bed, turn off the light. It wants to keep the vibration low. The alchemist does the opposite. They apply the law of vibration. They get up, they move fast, they breathe fire, they put on epic music, they start singing or decreeing out loud. They force their atoms to accelerate. It is impossible to remain depressed if your body is vibrating at high speed. You change the physiology. You change the vibration. You change the mind. Do not wait to feel good to act. Act to feel good. Use your voice to break the inertia. When you feel fear, say out loud and firm, "Enough." The sound breaks the thought pattern. It is a circuit cut. Break the glass of negativity with the scream of your will. Taisu resonance and attraction, the true law. The law of attraction is actually the law of resonance, part of vibration. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are, what you vibrate. If you want a luxury car, it is not enough to put a photo on the wall. You have to ask yourself, how does the person who has that car vibrate? Surely they vibrate in security, in freedom, in power. If you look at the photo of the car and vibrate in envy or need, "I don't have it," you are vibrating at a frequency opposite to the car. You repel it. You have to tune in. You have to be the car before having the car. You have to emulate the emotional frequency of possession. When your internal vibration matches the vibration of the desired object, the object appears in your life by physical law. It is like two guitar strings. If you strike a note on one, the same string starts to vibrate on its own across the room. Become the string that sounds like success, and success will resonate with you. Practice the Heka decree of power. We are going to do an activation. This is not for reading in silence, this is for doing. Find a place where you can speak. Stand up, straight spine, aligned antenna. Breathe deeply into the abdomen. You are going to use your voice not to communicate, but to order matter. Feel the vibration in your chest and throat. Repeat with me, with a commanding, deep and slow voice. I am the voice that orders chaos. Feel how your mind is ordered. My word is law in my universe. Recover your authority. I vibrate at the frequency of victory. Raise your energy. What I decree is. Feel the tingling. That tingling is your electromagnetic field reorganizing itself. You have just used Heka. You have just written code in the ether. Do this every morning. Tune your instrument before going out to the concert of the world. If you go out of tune, the world will eat you. If you go out tuned to the note of power, the world will dance to your rhythm. Chapter 4. Polarity, Mental Alchemy. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. This is the fourth great Hermetic law. You have been taught to fight against the darkness. You have been told to kill your fears, to eliminate your hate, and to flee from pain. It is useless advice. You cannot destroy energy. You can only transform it. Fear and courage are the same thing. Hate and love are the same thing. Only the frequency of vibration changes. The alchemist does not fight. The alchemist slides the dial. Welcome to the art of mental transmutation. The primitive human mind is trapped in binarism. It believes the world is digital, zeros and ones, good or bad, friend or enemy, light or darkness. This fragmented vision is the cause of all suffering. When you see evil as a separate and powerful entity that attacks you, you become a victim or an exhausted soldier. You spend your life fighting ghosts. The Code of Thoth reveals a higher truth. Duality is an illusion of degree. Imagine a thermometer. Where exactly does cold end and heat begin? Is there a black line at degree 15 that separates absolute cold from absolute heat? No. It is a continuous spectrum. Cold is not a thing in itself. It is simply the absence of heat, low molecular vibration. Heat is high molecular vibration. They are the same thing, temperature, vibrating at different speeds. The same occurs with your emotions and your reality. Fear is faith in the negative pole, believing bad things will happen. Courage is faith in the positive pole, believing you can overcome it. They are the same energy. If you have a lot of fear, you have a lot of energy available. It is only polarized incorrectly. The work of the initiate is not to eliminate fear. That would leave you without energy, apathetic. The work is to take that mass of energy you call fear and slide it along the scale until it becomes courage or enthusiasm. This is alchemy, turning lead into gold. You don't throw away the lead. You use it as raw material. The law of conservation of emotional energy. The first law of thermodynamics says that energy is neither created nor destroyed, only transformed. This applies to your psyche. Many people try to repress their negative emotions. They feel anger and say, "No, I am spiritual. I must not feel anger." And they push it into the basement of the subconscious. That does not eliminate anger. That pressurizes it. It turns it into a time bomb that will eventually explode as disease or as an uncontrollable fit of rage, or worse, it will become depression, anger turned inward. The Code of Thoth forbids you to repress. But it also forbids you to be a slave to emotion. It offers you a third way, polarization. When you feel a dense emotion, sadness, anger, fear, recognize it as fuel. Say to yourself, "Wow, I have a huge amount of potential energy here. Right now it is vibrating in destruction. I'm going to change its polarity to construction." How is this done? By changing the focus of attention. Energy flows where attention goes. If you focus on why you are angry, you feed the negative pole. If you focus on what you want to achieve with that strength, you slide the energy toward the positive pole. Anger becomes determination. Envy becomes inspiration. Fear becomes preparation. Do not waste a single gram of your darkness. Use it to ignite your light. 2. Opposites are identical in nature. Let's analyze the phrase, opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. This explains why there is such a fine line between love and hate. It is easy to go from loving someone to hating them in a second. Why? Because you are on the same scale of passion, interest. You only changed poles. It is almost impossible to move from hate to indifference instantly. Indifference is a different scale altogether. To transform a toxic relationship, you must first understand which scale you are playing on. If someone hates you, they are actually giving you a lot of energy. You are in their mind. It is easier to turn an enemy into an ally by changing the polarity of passion than to turn an indifferent stranger into an ally. The initiate knows that the energy of hate can be hacked. A simple act of unexpected kindness or a word of understanding can make the other's pendulum cross violently from hate to admiration. Because the energy was already there, it just needed a new channel. 30. The art of sliding the dial. Imagine that your mind is a sound mixing desk. You have several channels, faders. Channel 1, scarcity, abundance. Channel 2, sickness, health. Channel 3, ignorance, wisdom. Most people have rusty faders. They believe they are stuck in scarcity. I am poor. That's how it is. They are defining their identity by the pole they find themselves in today. The master knows that the fader moves. To move it, he uses mental induction. The higher vibration dominates the lower one. If you feel sad, low, you cannot simply decide to be euphoric, high, all at once. The jump is too big. But you can start moving the fader degree by degree. The next degree technique, you are in depression, degree 1. Seek to reach anger, degree 3. Yes, anger is better than depression because it has movement. Get angry with your situation. From anger, move to frustration, degree 5. From frustration, move to hope, curiosity, degree 7. From hope, move to enthusiasm, degree 10. You scale the vibration little by little. If you try to jump from 1 to 10, you will fall. Thoth teaches us to be patient with the alchemical process. Honor the degree you are in, but do not stay to live there. Neutralizing external negativity. What happens when you are attacked with negative polarity? Someone insults you. Someone screams at you. They are sending you a packet of energy polarized in hate. Your animal instinct, reptilian brain, wants to respond with the same polarity, hate against hate. This creates a war. Two like poles repel and explode. The law of polarity gives you a tactical advantage. You can neutralize a pole with its opposite. Fire is not put out with fire, it is put out with water. Hate is not put out with hate, it is put out with calm or humor. If someone screams at you and you respond with icy, absolute calm, their energy hits your wall. Their energy hits your wall of calm and dissipates. Or better yet, you apply the opposite pole, kindness. I understand you're angry. You must be having a bad day. How can I help you? This is mental judo. You destabilize the opponent because you changed the polarity of the ground. He expected resistance, hate to lean on and keep fighting. Finding a vacuum, calm or reverse traction, kindness, he falls flat on his face. You have transmuted the situation. You have turned a conflict into a negotiation. The danger of toxic positivity. Here is a crucial warning. The code of Thoth is not toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is denying that the negative pole exists. Everything is wonderful, nothing bad happens, always smile. That is a lie, and it is dangerous. If you deny the negative pole, e.g. physical pain or debt, you cannot fix it. To transmute, you first have to accept and see the lead. The alchemist looks at the lead and says, "This is lead. It is heavy. It is dark. I see it. I accept it." And then he says, "Now I am going to apply fire to turn it into gold." Denying the lead is stupidity. Recognizing the lead and working on it is mastery. You have to be able to look your darkness in the eye without blinking. Polarity teaches you that darkness is necessary. It is the contrast that allows the light to shine. Without the negative pole of the battery, the current does not flow. Use the negative as ground to anchor you, and the positive as projection to fly. Mastery of moods. Most people are weather vanes. If it's sunny, they are happy. If it rains, they are sad. If they are treated well, they are kind. If they are treated poorly, they are rude. Their internal polarity is a slave to external polarity. They are effects, not causes. The master carries his own climate. The master decides, "Today I am going to vibrate in joy." And he goes out. If it rains, he remains in joy. If he is insulted, he remains in joy. He keeps his polarity fixed, regardless of external induction. This requires a will of steel. It requires a conscious disconnection from the immediate environment. Thoth calls this stability, being a rock in the middle of the sea. The waves, others' emotions, hit the rock, but the rock does not move. In the end, the waves adapt to the shape of the rock. If you maintain your polarity long enough, the environment eventually aligns with you. Eres el termostato, no el termómetro. You enter a tense meeting, vibrating in peace, and after 10 minutes everyone has calmed down. You have polarized the room. The thermometer measures temperature. The thermostat changes temperature. Savata, the alchemist's visualization. A practical tool for changing polarity is light visualization. When you feel a dark emotion, fear, sadness, located in your body, usually chest or stomach, do not reject it. Observe it. Visualize it as a sphere of black or gray smoke. Now, visualize a ray of golden or white light descending from your higher self. Imagine it descending and entering that sphere. Watch how the light starts to spin inside the sphere. Watch how the smoke dissolves and the sphere begins to glow. Feel how the energy, which weighed before, now makes you feel light. This is not just imagination. You are giving a quantum order to your nervous system. You are changing the chemistry of your body, from cortisol to serotonin. You are applying a high frequency to a low one. By the law of polarity, the low must rise. First, the pendulum and polarity. The law of rhythm says that everything swings. The law of polarity allows you to escape extreme oscillation. If you polarize yourself extremely in euphoria, the pendulum will inevitably lead you to depression. Extremes meet. The drug addict seeks the extreme of euphoria, the high, and pays with the crash. The path of Thoth is the middle way. It is not mediocrity. It is dynamic balance. It is living in the positive polarity, joy, peace, interest, but without hysterical attachment. It is a serene joy. By staying near the center, but on the positive side, you avoid the lash of the pendulum. You live in a state of sustainable contentment. It is the difference between a bonfire that burns the forest, euphoria, and a fireplace fire that warms the house, peace. Size, mind over body. The law of polarity explains the placebo effect. If your body is sick, negative pole, but your mind convinces itself that it is healing, positive pole, the mind begins to drag the body toward its pole. The mind is more subtle and powerful than the body. Remember, the subtle governs the dense. If you focus on the disease, it hurts, you polarize your mind to the negative and accelerate the disease. If you focus on health, my cells are strong, I am improving, you polarize your mind to the positive. You are putting the current in favor of life. You are rowing in favor of recovery. X, the transmutation of the past. Even the past can be polarized. Many people live polarized in trauma. They remember their past as a tragedy. My father hit me. I am a victim. That is negative polarity. It takes power away from you today. The alchemist travels to the past with his mind and changes the polarity. He does not change the facts, he changes the interpretation. My father hit me. That taught me what I do not want to be and made me incredibly strong and resilient. Thanks to that, today I am a warrior. Boom, you have changed the pole. The same event that weakened you before now gives you strength. You have turned the lead of trauma into the gold of wisdom. The past is no longer a burden. It is a gym where you trained your muscles. You are free. So practice the mental thermostat. For this week, your mission is to be the thermostat of your life. Every time you feel a negative emotion, fear, doubt, laziness, stop. Identify. I am in the pole of laziness. Locate the opposite. What is the opposite? Action, energy. Visualize the dial. Cierra los ojos. Imagine a dial from 0, laziness, to 10, action. Right now you are at 2. Slide. Mentally, turn the dial to 3, 4, 5. Act in coherence. Do a small movement that corresponds to a 5. Get up, wash a dish, do a push-up, rise more. As you move, the dial rises to 7. Keep moving. Do not wait to feel like it. Feeling like it is the result of polarization, not the cause. You move the dial with your will, and the emotions follow you. You are the operator. Chapter 5, Rhythm, the Pendulum of History. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. This is the fifth great law. The universe is not a straight line, it is a spiral. It is a beating heart. Systole and diastole. Summer and winter. Rise and fall. Humanity suffers because it resists winter. It wants an eternal summer, and by resisting the descent, it is crushed by it. The Hermetic master does not fight the tide. He learns to float when it falls and to sail when it rises. Today you will learn to neutralize the pendulum, so that nothing can knock you down. We live obsessed with linear growth. We want our economy to always go up. We want to always be happy. We want our relationship to be an eternal honeymoon. This linear expectation is a flagrant violation of the law of rhythm. And nature punishes this ignorance with pain in your life right now today. The Code of Thoth shows us that reality moves in waves. In quantum physics, energy propagates in waves. A wave has a crest, high point, and a trough, low point. You cannot have a wave with only crests. That is not a wave. It is a flat line. And on a heart monitor, a flat line means death. Life needs the descent in your world now. The descent is recharge. The descent is rest. The descent is introspection. But modern society has demonized the descent. It calls it depression, recession, failure. They drug us so we don't feel the descent. They put us in debt to pretend the economy doesn't go down. And by doing this, we turn a natural cycle into a catastrophe today. If you don't let the forest burn naturally every now and then, small cycle, you accumulate so much dry brush that when it finally burns, the fire destroys the entire ecosystem, total collapse. By accepting the natural rhythms of contraction, you preserve the foundation for future expansion and ensure the long-term health of your world now. Like the law of the pendulum, the inevitable oscillation. Imagine a giant pendulum swinging in the cosmos. Thoth says, the measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. This is mathematics. If the pendulum rises 45 degrees toward extreme joy, it must, by physical law, rise 45 degrees toward extreme sadness on the return journey in your world today right now. Rhythm compensates. This explains why lottery winners, extreme euphoria, violent movement to the right, often end up committing suicide or in total ruin, extreme depression, violent movement to the left. They forced the pendulum too fast toward one extreme and the return lash killed them. It explains the cycle of addictions today. The drug takes you artificially to a peak of pleasure you haven't earned. The pendulum flies to the right. When the effect wears off, the pendulum doesn't return to the center. It goes to the opposite extreme. Withdrawal syndrome, hell. The universe always collects its debt of balance. The initiate, knowing this, is very careful now. He is careful with uncontrolled euphoria. He knows that euphoria is a credit of happiness that he will have to pay back tomorrow with interest of sadness. That is why the wise are serene. Serenity is living near the anchor point of the pendulum, where movement is minimal. Neither hysterical euphoria nor suicidal depression today now. Constant peace. By maintaining a centered presence, you avoid the violent swings of emotion and circumstance, allowing you to navigate the peaks and valleys of life with an unshakable stability that ensures your continued progress and well-being through any cyclical shift in the energetic field of your reality. Right now, today, now. The illusion of regression, the arrow. The problem with human perception is that we judge movement backward as something bad. Imagine an archer. To shoot the arrow far, progress, he first has to pull the string back, regression. The further back he pulls, the more tension he accumulates, and the further the arrow will go. In your life, the moments of regression now. Losing a job, a breakup, an illness are the moments when the divine archer is pulling the string. You are accumulating potential energy. If at that moment you panic and cut the string, give up. The energy dissipates and you hit yourself. If you endure the tension, if you trust the rhythm, the moment of release will arrive today now. And you will be shot forward with a speed you would never have achieved without that regression. The Code of Thoth teaches you to read the rhythm. When you feel life slowing you down, do not fight. Do not try to force doors that have closed. It is winter time. It is time to go inward. It is time to sharpen the tip of the arrow in your life. Clean your house. Review your strategies. Study. Meditate. He who works hard in his personal winter flourishes spectacularly in his spring. He who spends winter crying because it is not summer arrives at spring exhausted and with no seeds to plant. By honoring the season of rest, you prepare the ground for your greatest harvest today. 30. The art of neutralization, the Hermetic secret. Here is the most advanced technique of this chapter. The Hermetic masters discovered that they cannot stop the pendulum. The law of rhythm is universal and affects all planes. But they discovered a legal loophole, the law of planes. Rhythm affects your emotional and physical plane, but your higher mental plane, spirit, today now. The spirit is above the oscillation. The technique is called neutralization. It consists of raising the ego above the vibration of the emotional plane when the pendulum goes backward. Imagine you are in the sea. A giant wave comes, the return pendulum, the crisis. If you stay on the surface, emotional plane, the wave tosses you now. The master dives, or flies. He polarizes in his higher mind. He says, I see that my body and my emotions are sad. I see that my bank account is dropping. It is the rhythm. I accept it. But I, my consciousness, am not that. I am the immovable observer. By refusing to participate emotionally in the descent, the master lets it pass now. The wave passes under him. He feels the movement, but it doesn't drag him. It is a controlled dissociation. Let it swing below, while you remain above. When the pendulum rises again, toward success, the master comes down and rides the wave to enjoy the journey. He uses the rise and neutralizes the fall. That is how empires last today. Seasonal strategy, Kairos versus Chronos. The Greeks had two words for time, chronos, clock time, tick-tock, tick-tock. Linear, Kairos, the time of opportunity, the right moment. Rhythmic, the farmer understands Kairos. He does not plant in December, no matter how hard he works. It would be stupid. Modern man lives in Chronos right now today in your world. He believes he can hustle, so work hard 24/7 and get linear results. If you try to launch a business when the rhythm of the market is in contraction, winter, it will cost you 10 times more effort and you will have 10 times fewer results. If you launch when the tide rises, spring, With one push, you fly today in your life now. Thoth teaches us to develop sensitivity to rhythm. Before acting, feel the energy. Is the energy expanding or contracting? Is it time to attack or to defend? Is it time to speak or to be silent? There is a time for everything under heaven. Success is not just doing the right thing. It is doing it at the right rhythmic moment now. If you feel everything is jammed, that everything is difficult, that you swim against the current, stop. You are probably trying to harvest in winter. Wait. The tide will change. It always changes. And while you wait, prepare yourself. By aligning your actions with the cosmic cycles, you ensure that your efforts yield maximum results. V. The heartbeat of economy and history. History does not repeat itself, but it rhymes. Empires are born, grow, mature, decay, and die. It is the life cycle. Western civilization, the current financial system, follows this rhythm. We are in a phase of contraction, cycle change. The ignorant person gets scared. The end of the world today in your world right now. The initiate prepares. The end of one cycle, the beginning of another. During rhythm changes, crises, is when the greatest transfers of wealth and power occur. Money does not disappear during a crisis. It only changes hands. It passes from the hands of those who panic, emotional reaction to the descent, into your hands now. It passes to the hands of those who were neutralized and prepared, cold observers. If you understand rhythm, the crisis is your ally. It is the time to buy when everyone sells, to build when everyone destroys. It is the time to be an architect of the new world while the old one crumbles. Your foresight turns chaos into opportunity today. Phi, biorhythms and productivity. On a personal level, you also have cycles. You have circadian cycles, day-night, ultradian cycles, 90-minute focus periods, and hormonal cycles. The grind culture, working without stopping, destroys your biological rhythm. It forces you to use stimulants, coffee, sugar, to fake a permanent crest right now, today now. This exhausts your adrenal glands and leads to burnout. Burnout is the revenge of the rhythm. It is the body saying, you didn't give me my rest the easy way, so I'm going to take it the hard way. I'm going to knock you into bed for a month. The Code of Thoth suggests working by pulses, maximum intensity, total rest in your life. Hunt, banquet sleep. Do not try to be at 100% all day, every day. It is unnatural. Accept your low days. On a low day, do not take important decisions. Do not try to create. Do administrative work. Clean. Rest. On a high day, take on the world. If you respect your low, your high will be higher. Mastery of self requires rhythm. Bevand constancy, the breakwater. How do we build something lasting in a moving world? With habits and systems. Motivation is emotional, therefore it is subject to the pendulum. One day you are motivated, the next you are not. If you depend on motivation, you are unstable. Discipline and habits are mental structural. They are designed to survive the descent today now. They survive the pendulum's fall. You brush your teeth whether you feel like it or not. You train whether you feel like it or not. Habits are the breakwater that protects your boat when the tide goes out. The initiate builds rigid structures of behavior so as not to depend on the fluidity of his emotions right now, today in your life. I do what I must, not what I feel. This neutralizes the effect of rhythm on your productivity. By anchoring your daily life in unshakable systems, you ensure that your mission remains on track regardless of the cyclical fluctuations in your emotional or energetic state, providing the consistency needed for true greatness now. Fairfee, compensation, the price of oscillation. Rhythm compensates. If someone has an extremely developed skill, e.g., a mathematical genius, rhythm usually compensates with a lack elsewhere, e.g., social ineptitude. If someone has massive public success, they usually have massive private loneliness. Nothing is free. The balance always tends towards zero today in your world. This cures envy. When you envy someone's success, you are only seeing the swing to the right, their fame, money. You are not seeing their swing to the left, their stress, their enemies, their lack of privacy. If you saw the whole package, you probably wouldn't want their life. Understanding compensation gives you peace today now. You accept your own package. And if you want more success, you understand that you will have to pay the price in more responsibility or pressure. The initiate accepts the price in advance. By recognizing the inherent trade-offs in every state of being, you free yourself from the burden of comparison and focus on your own path. Sign to anti-fragility, gaining with movement. Nassim Taleb coined the term anti-fragile, that which benefits from chaos and shocks. A package is fragile if it breaks when shaken. A package is robust if nothing happens to it when shaken. A package is anti-fragile if it improves when shaken. Rhythm shakes the box of reality. You must be anti-fragile today in your world right now. How? By using the inertia of the pendulum, like on a swing. If you push at the right moment, when the swing goes down, you gain height. If you adapt to change, every crisis makes you stronger. Losing your job forces you to become an entrepreneur, and you do better. An illness forces you to eat healthy, and you have a better body. The initiate uses the force of the blow to propel himself. It is cosmic aikido. By transforming every cyclical setback into a catalyst for growth and innovation, you ensure that the natural movements of the universe always serve your ultimate evolution, making you an unstoppable force in an ever-shifting reality today now. X practice, the rhythm journal. To master time, you must observe it. For 1 month, keep a simple log of your energy and mood, from 1 to 10. You will see a pattern. Perhaps you discover that every 3 weeks you have a 2-day slump, or that in the afternoons you are useless and in the mornings a genius. Once you identify your pattern, you stop blaming yourself now. When the 3-week slump arrives, you won't say, "I am a failure, I am depressed." You will say, "It's day 21, time for the descent. Normal. I'm going to read and go to bed early. Tomorrow it will rise." This knowledge gives you immense power. You stop fighting your own nature. You become efficient, your rhythm becomes your ally. Chapter 6. Cause and Effect, the Quantum Boomerang. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Luck is but a name for a law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. This is the 6th great truth of the Emerald. We live in a mathematical universe. Chance does not exist. Coincidence does not exist. Accidents do not exist. If a stone falls, it is because gravity, law, acted upon it. If your life is a disaster, it is because you, consciously or unconsciously, have set in motion the precise causes for that disaster. This truth is hard, but it is the only one that sets you free. For if you were the cause of your hell, you can be the cause. You can be the cause of your paradise. Welcome to the end of victimization. Humanity is divided into 2 types of people, victims and initiates. The difference is not money, nor race, nor talent. The difference is where they place their focus in the equation of reality. The equation is cause-effect. The victim lives obsessed with the effect. They look at their empty bank account, effect, and cry. They look at their sick body, effect, and complain. They look at the corrupt politician, effect, and get indignant. They believe these things happen to them. They believe the universe attacks them. They live on the defensive. They live trying to dodge the blows of a capricious fate. For the victim, life is a lottery, and they do not have the winning ticket. The initiate lives obsessed with the cause. They look at their empty account and ask, "Which thoughts and actions of mine created this void? Where did I stop providing value?" They look at their illness and ask, "Which repressed emotion or which toxic habit generated this symptom?" The initiate knows that the effect is only a shadow. You cannot fight against a shadow. To change the shadow, you have to move the object that projects it, the cause. The code of Thoth is brutally clear. Nothing escapes the law. Not an atom moves in the cosmos without a previous cause. If you believe in luck, you are denying science. Einstein said, "God does not play dice. What you call luck is simply a chain of causes and effects so complex that your limited mind cannot track it. So you label it as chance so as not to have to think. But the initiate thinks. The initiate tracks, and the initiate hacks the chain." The quantum boomerang, non-locality. In the classical physical world, Newton, if you throw a billiard ball, it hits another. Cause and effect are visible and linear. In the quantum world, Thoth, cause and effect can be separated by time and space, but the connection is unbreakable. Imagine that every thought, word, and action you emit is an energetic boomerang. You throw it into the universe. The boomerang travels. Perhaps it takes a day, a year, or 10 years, but it has a GPS guidance system. That GPS is your vibratory frequency. The boomerang always returns to its owner, and it returns loaded with more of the same. If you throw a boomerang of judgment, it travels. It collects judgment energy in the field and returns to hit you in the form of someone judging you unfairly. You say, "How unfair? I'm a good person. Why do they criticize me?" You have forgotten that you threw that boomerang 6 months ago when you criticized your neighbor. The universe does not punish, the universe returns. It is a mirror with memory. Karma is not a bearded old man with a notebook recording sins. Karma is Newton's third law, action-reaction, applied to consciousness. It is pure mechanics. If you hit the wall, your hand hurts. It is not that the wall punishes you, it is that the force you emitted returned to you. Here's the time trap, the buffer. Why do people keep acting badly if karma is real? Because of the delay, the time buffer. If every time you thought something bad you received an instant electric shock, you would be Buddha in 24 hours. You would learn quickly through Pavlovian conditioning. But in matter, there is a delay between cause and effect. You eat a burger today, cause. You don't have a heart attack today, effect. You feel fine, so you eat another one tomorrow. The heart attack arrives in 20 years. Because there is such a large space of time, your mind does not connect the dots. You think, "Wow, what bad luck, I had a heart attack." No, it was a mathematical accumulation of causes. This delay is the great test of intelligence. The fool needs immediate pain to learn, like an animal. The wise person has vision of the future. They can see the effect in the cause before it happens. The wise looks at the burger and sees the heart attack. They look at the cigarette and see cancer. They look at impulsive spending and see poverty. And because they see the future effect, they stop the present cause. The Code of Thoth invites you to develop this causal clairvoyance. Before doing something, project it in time. If I do this every day for 5 years, where will I be? If you don't like the answer, do not throw the boomerang. First, reverse engineering your life. Most people live by inertia. The initiate lives by design. They use the law of cause and effect in reverse. Instead of waiting to see what effects reach them, they decide the effect they want and then deduce the necessary cause. The reverse engineering protocol. 1. Define the desired effect. I want financial freedom, 10,000 month. 2. Ask for the cause. What cause produces $10,000 a month? It's not luck, it's providing massive value to a sufficient number of people. 3. Define the cause of the cause. How can I provide value? I need a skill, a product, or a service. 4. Define the root cause. I need to study, train, or create X thing today. 5. Execute the root cause. If you put in the cause, the effect is inevitable. It is law. If you boil water at 100 degrees, it evaporates. You don't have to pray for it to evaporate. You don't have to have faith, you have to apply the heat. Stop praying for the effect, money, love, and start putting on the fire, value, self-love. If you focus obsessively on the cause, the effect takes care of itself. Losers chase money, effect. Winners chase excellence and service, cause, and money chases them. Sci-Phaeton, the butterfly effect, the micro-causes. Never underestimate the small. Thoth teaches that the universe is fractal. The small affects the large. Chaos theory calls it the butterfly effect. The flapping of a butterfly's wings in Brazil can cause a tornado in Texas. A small thought of envy today can grow, take root, and become a betrayal in 10 years. A betrayal that destroys your company. A small habit of reading 10 minutes a day can become an idea that makes you a millionaire in 5 years. You are the gardener of your mind. Each thought is a seed, cause. You cannot stop birds from flying over your head, intrusive thoughts. But you can stop them from nesting in your hair, obsessing over them. If you detect a weed seed, fear, hate, laziness, pull it out now while it is small. If you wait for it to be a giant oak, you will need a chainsaw and a lot of pain to remove it. Eternal vigilance is the price of freedom. Take care of the small causes, and the large effects will be glorious. Escaping the wheel of karma, the higher plane. In the East, this is called the Wheel of Samsara. Cause and effect, action and reaction, life after life. It seems like a prison. If someone hits you, you hit them, they hit you. How do we stop this? Hermes Trismegistus gives us the way out. To escape one law, you must appeal to a higher law. You cannot defeat cause and effect on its own plane, but you can transcend it. How? With radical forgiveness and non-reaction. When someone hurts you, cause, the universe expects your reaction, effect. If you react with revenge, you become a new cause, which will generate a new effect against you. You stay on the wheel. But if faced with the damage, you do not react, or react with forgiveness, indifference, you break the chain. The boomerang of hate thrown at you falls to the ground and dies. You do not pick it up. You do not throw it again. You have absorbed the impact without transmitting it. You become a karma sink. There the curse ends. In your family, perhaps all have been abusive or poor for generations, inherited chains of causes. You can be the one who says, "It ends here." You absorb the ancestral pain and do not pass it to your children. You generate a new cause, love, wealth. You become the golden link that changes your lineage history. That says coincidence does not exist, synchronicity. Once you accept the law, you stop believing in coincidences. When you meet the right person at the right moment, you know it is not chance. It is that you have been vibrating, cause, at a frequency that made that encounter inevitable, effect. Jung called it synchronicity. It is causality operating on the non-local plane. The initiate reads coincidences like traffic signs. If everything flows and magical help appears, it is a sign that your cause is correct. If everything jams, breaks, and complicates, it is not bad luck. It is the universe shouting at you, "Your cause is wrong. Correct your course." Obstacles are not enemies. They are feedback. They are data. Be grateful for the obstacle because it is warning you that your code has an error before the program collapses entirely. Serve the radical responsibility, sovereignty. This is the hardest point of the chapter. You have to accept that everything in your life has been attracted by you. Everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Your salary, your partner, your loneliness, your body. The ego hates this. The ego screams, "No, I didn't ask to be fired. I didn't ask for this disease. It was the fault of the economy, genetics, boss." As long as you blame something external, you give your power to that external thing. If your boss is the cause of your misfortune, then your boss is your God. He has the power. You are the slave. The moment you say, "I am the cause," you regain power. Again, maybe I didn't cause the firing consciously, but my vibration of fear or my lack of professional updating allowed it to happen. If I created it, I can uncreate it. Radical responsibility is the gate to magic. If you assume the blame, you assume command. The king is responsible for the state of the kingdom. If there is hunger, it is the king's fault. If you want to be the king of your life, stop blaming the peasants' circumstances. Fate, luck is manufactured, Seneca's equation. Seneca the Stoic said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Let's analyze this under the code of Thoth. Opportunity. It is the constant flow of the universe, the river. There are always opportunities passing by. Preparation. It is your internal structure, your boat. If you have no boat, you haven't studied, haven't saved, haven't trained, the river of opportunities passes and you cannot navigate it. You will say, "I wasn't lucky." Lie. You had the same opportunity as the other, but you lacked the preparation. Luck is simply being ready to act when the external cause presents itself. You can increase your luck mathematically. How? By increasing your causes. Meet more people, more social boomerangs. Learn more skills, more opportunity receptors. Try more projects, more lottery tickets bought with effort. He who throws the dice once has low probabilities. He who throws the dice 1,000 times will get a 6 by pure statistics. Be a machine for generating probabilities. Psyche, the mirror of relationships. Your relationships are the most direct effect of your relationship with yourself. If you do not respect yourself, cause, you will attract people who do not respect you, effect. If you lie to yourself, you will attract liars. If you love yourself unconditionally, you will attract love. It is useless to try to change your partner or your friends. They are only actors hired by your internal script to confirm your beliefs. If you change, the script changes. The old, toxic actors will leave because they no longer fit in the new play, and new actors will arrive who resonate with your new frequency. Do not chase love, cause love in yourself and the effect will be inevitable. Next, practice the causal audit. You are going to do an exercise of brutal honesty. Take paper and pencil. Divide the sheet into 2 columns, effect, what I have, and cause, what I did, thought. 1. Write 3 things in your life you do not like, e.g., overweight, debts, loneliness. 2. Beside each, you have to find the cause in you. Blaming externals is forbidden. Overweight. Cause, I eat out of anxiety to cover emotions. I don't move. Debts. Cause, I buy things I don't need to impress. I don't educate myself financially. Loneliness. Cause, I am cynical. I don't open up for fear of being hurt. I shut myself in. It hurts, right? That pain is the healing. It is the ego breaking. Now write 3 things you do want, future effects. And beside them, write the cause you must initiate today. Wealth. Cause, I will learn to sell. I will create a product. Health. Cause, I will throw away junk food today. Love. Cause, I will start loving myself. Now you have a map. You no longer need luck, you have a plan of causes. Chapter 7, Gender, the Matrix of Creation. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. This is the 7th law. Forget biology and politics for a moment. We are talking about physics. We are talking about electricity and magnetism, about emission and reception, about the seed and the earth. Thoth teaches us that nothing new can be born in the universe without the union of these 2 forces. Physical reality is the son born from the marriage between your thought, father, and your emotion, mother. The problem is that most human beings live in mental celibacy or internal divorce. They have thoughts without emotion, sterile, or emotions without direction, chaos. Today we are going to officiate the sacred marriage in your mind so that you can give birth to the destiny you deserve. The universe is a factory of constant creation, and every factory needs a production system. The universal system is binary in its functions, but unitary in its essence. To create electric light, you need a positive pole and a negative pole. If you remove one, the light goes out. It doesn't matter how much effort the positive pole makes. Without the negative, there is no current. To create biological life, you need a gamete. You need a masculine and a feminine gamete. To create reality, you need exactly the same. The Code of Thoth identifies these 2 primordial forces. 1. The masculine principle, electric, yang, will. It is the force that projects, pushes, sows, directs, and structures. It is the intention. The feminine principle, magnetic, yin, love. It is the force that receives, attracts, gestates, nurtures, and gives shape. It is the imagination and the emotion. The great secret of the alchemists was not converting metals, but performing the hieros gamos, the sacred marriage, within their own psyche. Becoming a hermetic androgyne, a being capable of using both energies at will to impregnate the fabric of space-time. If your life is stagnant, it is because one of these 2 energies is repressed or disconnected from the other. To the anatomy of creation, the father and the mother. Let's analyze how an atom or an empire is built. The proton, positive masculine, is in the center. It is stable. It defines the identity of the atom. The electron, negative feminine, revolves around it, creating the shell, the shape, the chemical interaction today in your life, right now, today, now. Without the proton, the electron is lost in the void. Without the electron, the proton is an inert nucleus with no capacity to bond. In your mind, it works like this. Your conscious mind, logic, will, is the masculine principle. It is the captain of the ship. It decides the course. It says, I want to go to that island. Your subconscious mind, emotion, memory, is the feminine principle. It is the sea and the engine of the ship. It is the raw force that moves the vessel. The human drama is that the captain and the crew do not speak to each other. The captain, conscious, shouts, "I want to be rich," masculine seed. But the crew, subconscious, feels, "Money is dangerous, it's scary." Hostile feminine earth. What happens? The seed falls on toxic ground, nothing is born. Or a monster is born, self-sabotage. To manifest, the captain must seduce the crew. He cannot force it, willpower runs out. He has to make it fall in love. He has to impregnate the subconscious with the image of success until the subconscious accepts the seed and begins to gestate it. Tear the impotence of the will, masculine excess. We live in a patriarchal society in the energetic sense, not political. We glorify the masculine principle: action, logic, force, competition, hustle. They tell us, if you want something, go and grab it. Work 18 hours. Push, hit. This is operating only with electricity right now today in your life. It is a loose high-voltage cable, sparking, burning everything around it. The person who only uses the masculine principle becomes rigid, dry, stressed, and brittle. They can achieve things, yes, but at a brutal energetic cost. It is the archetype of the heart-attacked executive. He has the what body structure, but he lacks the fluid how magnetism. He tries to rape reality so that it gives him results instead of making love to it. Reality, forced, resists. Third, the sterility of the dreamer, feminine excess. At the other extreme, very common in the New Age, there is feminine excess. People who only visualize, only feel, only flow. The universe will bring it to me. I trust, I feel. But they have no structure, they have no discipline, they have no plan. They have no penetrating action today in your world now. They are pure magnetism without a core. They are like a fertile womb that never receives a seed. They can spend years feeling abundance on their sofa, but without the electrical spark of masculine action, calling the client, creating the product, waking up early, that abundance remains as a ghost in the ether. It is the archetype of the broke hippie. He has a lot of potential energy, but zero kinetic energy. I feed the secret thought plus emotion, child. Thoth gives us the chemical formula of reality. Thought M plus emotion F, doing manifestation, child. A thought without emotion is a dry seed in a drawer, intellectualizing. An emotion without clear thought is a fertile field full of weeds, hysteria, anxiety, right now today, in your life now. But when you take a clear thought, I am going to win this contract, and charge it with an intense emotion, I feel euphoric and grateful for this contract, fertilization occurs. In that precise instant, something clicks in the quantum field. You have collapsed the wave today in your world now. You have created a quantum child. That child already exists on the astral plane. Now it only needs gestation time to descend to the physical plane. Most people use this formula in reverse to create monsters. Thought, I'm going to be fired, M. Emotion, terror, anguish, F. Result, firing, child. They are unconscious creators. They use mental sex to give birth to nightmares. The initiate practices conscious mental sex. He carefully chooses the seed, goal, and carefully chooses the emotion, fuel, to ensure that the child is beautiful. V-Sex's technology, transmutation. Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich dedicated an entire chapter to the mystery of sex transmutation. It is no coincidence. It is the principle of gender applied. Sexual energy is the most potent energy possessed by human beings. It is the only energy capable of creating life, literally. It is pure Heka. When you feel sexual desire, you are feeling the principle of gender asking to create. The average man wastes this energy by expelling it physically for momentary pleasure. He throws dynamite into cheap fireworks. The genius, the initiate, transmutes that energy right now. When he feels the sexual impulse, he does not repress it, but he does not spend it immediately either. He redirects it. He uses that fire in the blood, that aggressiveness, that desire for conquest, and injects it into his project, his art, or his business today in your life now. He writes with the energy with which he would make love. He sells with the energy with which he would seduce. The result is magnetic. People do not know why, but they feel irresistibly attracted to his work. It is because his work has libido. It has life. A work created without sexual energy is flat, boring, and dead. The seduction of reality. Look at your relationship with the world as a tango dance. Sometimes you have to be the masculine. Take the step, set the direction, propose. Sometimes you have to be the feminine. Listen to the music, wait for the opening, receive the opportunity in your world right now, today, now. The error is staying fixed in one role. In business, masculine. Create the product, make the sales call, set the price. Push. Feminine. Listen to the market. Create an attractive brand, branding. Build loyalty, intuit the trend, pull. If you only push, you are annoying. Spam. If you only pull, you are invisible. You have to penetrate the market, M, and welcome the client, F. You have to be aggressive in the goal and flexible in the method. 7. The dual brain hemispheres. Your biological brain is a temple of the principle of gender. Left hemisphere, logical, linear, verbal, analytical, masculine. Right hemisphere, intuitive, holistic, visual, emotional, feminine. They are joined by the corpus callosum. In most people, one hemisphere tyrannizes the other today. The rationalist despises intuition. That's nonsense. The artist despises logic. That limits me. The genius, Da Vinci, Einstein, Thoth, has a hyper-developed corpus callosum. Information flows freely between both sides. Einstein used intuition, F, to imagine traveling on a light beam, and math, M, to prove it. Da Vinci used geometry, M, to paint beauty, F. The code of Thoth requires you to train both sides. You cannot be a magician if you don't know accounting. You cannot be an entrepreneur if you have no vision. You have to be the king and the priestess at the same time. 5. Gestation, feminine patience. This is where the feminine principle teaches the hardest lesson to the modern world, gestation times. The masculine principle is impatient. It wants the result now, immediate ejaculation. The feminine principle knows that the baby takes 9 months right now, today, in your life. And you cannot speed it up by putting 9 pregnant women to have the baby in 1 month. Nature has its cycles. When you have planted the seed, intention, and watered it with emotion, you enter the gestation phase. It seems that nothing is happening. The ground is flat. There is no sprout today in your world. The immature masculine despairs. This doesn't work, and digs up the earth, killing the seed. The wise feminine says, wait, it is growing in the darkness. Nurture it. Trust. Respect for gestation is the mark of the master. He knows there is a time between sowing and harvesting now. During that time, his job is not to force, but to protect the dream from doubts, criticism, and fear. It is acting like a mother bear with her cubs, his projects. No one touches the project while it gestates. No one criticizes it. It is kept in the secret womb until it is ready to breathe on its own. Now see the I am, the union. In mysticism, God is often called He, but in the Code of Thoth, the source is androgynous. The I am contains both. I, the identity, the focal point, the witness consciousness, masculine. Am, the existence, the life, the being, the substance, feminine, today in your life right now. When you say I am, you are uniting the father and the mother. You are activating the machinery of creation. If you feel incomplete, if you look for your better half outside, you are violating the principle. You are already a whole orange. You have both poles within you now in your life. You do not need anyone to complete you. You need to unblock your repressed pole. If you are a man and were forbidden to cry or feel, you are energetically castrated. Your logic has no power because it has no emotional fuel. If you are a woman and were taught to be passive, you are tied today in your world now. Your love has no power because it has no direction or sword. The complete man cries and conquers. The complete woman loves and directs. Thoth demands wholeness. X practice the right of the hieros gamos. We are going to do an integration practice. You need to unite your head, M, with your heart, F. 1. Sit in silence. 2. Visualize your goal, M. Use your logical and visual mind to define exactly what you want. Put numbers, dates, and shapes on it. Project it as a blue laser beam now. 3. Invoke the emotion. F. Now lower your attention to your heart and belly. Forget the numbers. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the expansion. Feel the pleasure of having it. Visualize it as a warm, red, golden light, expanding from your center, right now, today, in your life. 4. The fusion. Now make the blue beam of the mind go down to the heart, and the golden light of the heart go up to the mind. 5. The burst. Visualize the moment they touch. Bang, a bright white light. Feel absolute certainty. 6. The decree. Say out loud, "It is done, the child is born." Now your desire is no longer an idea. It is a living entity in the quantum field. Your job now is to care for it, gestation, and take the physical steps that intuition dictates. You are no longer trying to get it. You are waiting for it to be born. Anxiety disappears. Knowing it is coming is enough. Chapter 8. The Void, the Zero-Point Field. You are afraid of silence. You are afraid of the darkness. When the lights go out or the Wi-Fi turns off, you feel anxiety. You run to turn on a screen, to play music, to call someone. You need noise to confirm that you exist. But Thoth teaches us that noise is the residue of creation, not creation itself. True power resides in the void. In ancient Egyptian cosmogony, before the gods there existed the Nun, the primordial ocean of dark and motionless waters. Modern physics calls it the zero-point field, a space that seems empty but contains more energy in a cubic centimeter than all the stars in the universe combined. If you want to create a new life, you cannot build upon the rubble of the old. You have to return to the void. You have to learn to die before you die. The human mind has a design flaw. It confuses empty space with nothingness. You look at an empty room and say, "There is nothing there." You look at the space between the stars and say, "It is nothingness." But quantum physics has shown that the void does not exist. What we call a vacuum is actually a plenum, a fullness. It is a boiling quantum foam. In the absolute vacuum, at 0 degrees Kelvin, virtual particles appear and disappear millions of times per second. They borrow energy from the bank of the void, exist for an instant, and return the energy. This means that the backdrop of the universe is not a passive canvas. It is an infinite power generator. Physicist John Wheeler calculated that the energy density of the quantum vacuum is so high that the energy contained today in your world, the energy contained in an empty cup of coffee, would be enough to boil all the oceans on Earth. Read that again. There is infinite energy in the empty space that is in front of your nose right now. Thoth, the Atlantean master, knew how to access this source. He did not use external fuel. He used the energy of the void now. You also have access to it, but your door is blocked. The door is blocked by only one thing, noise. Addiction to noise, the fear of non-being. Your ego is a construction made of noise. Your identity, I am John, I am a lawyer, I have debts, is a constant narrative. It is a voice in your head that never shuts up. The ego knows a terrifying secret. If the noise stops, the ego disappears. In absolute silence, there is no John, no lawyer, no debts in your life now. There is only presence. That is why the ego fights to the death against silence. That is why when you try to meditate, your mind bombards you with itches, stupid memories, or shopping lists. It is not that your mind is undisciplined, it is that your ego is fighting for its survival. The ego prefers suffering to the void now. It prefers to be worried, noise, to being at peace, silence, because worry confirms its existence. The initiate in the Code of Thoth must overcome this addiction. They must understand that entering the void is not dying. It is rebooting. It is like when your computer freezes. What do? You don't type faster today. You don't open more windows, you cut the power, black screen, silence, and then you reboot. The void is the reset button of the universe. If your life is frozen, problems that won't go away, it is useless to keep fighting, typing more. You have to go to the void. You have to turn off the system so it can turn on clean now. Terse, the Nun, the primordial waters. In Egypt, the god Nun represented the watery abyss from which the first land emerged. the primordial hill or benben. The none is the 0-point field. It is the state of pure potentiality. In the none, there are no things. There are no cars, no money, no diseases. But there is the possibility of all cars, all money today. All money and all diseases exist there. It is the clay before being modeled. Most people try to change their reality when the clay is already dry and fired, the material world. They try to change their finances by working harder, hitting the dry clay. The magician goes to the none. He goes to the place where the clay is liquid. He enters the state of consciousness where he is no one. He is nowhere and there is no time. And there in that liquid darkness, he plants the seed of his intention. Since there is no resistance in the fluid, the seed grows without effort. And then the magician returns to the physical world and observes in your life. He observes how reality solidifies around that new seed. 3. The blank screen, God's canvas. Imagine a cinema. If the movie you are watching is a horror movie, your current life, can you project a comedy movie on top of it while the horror one keeps running? No. The images would mix. It would be chaos. To project the new movie, you need a blank screen. You need the void. You need a moment of no mind now. Every time you manage to stop your internal dialogue, even for a few seconds, you create a blank screen. That is the sweet spot of manifestation. The problem is that people try to manifest, visualize, while their internal dialogue, the horror movie, keeps running in the background. I am rich, new movie. Damn it, I don't have enough for rent, I'm so scared, old movie in the background. Result, a blurry and distorted image. The code of Thoth demands cleanliness. First, void. Silence the fear. Silence the hope. Silence the identity. Reach the 0 point. And only when you are in the absolute peace of nothingness today, zap, project the image. An image projected onto absolute black shines with a blinding intensity. The universe captures it in high definition. Meet the detached observer. Superposition. In Chapter 1, we talked about the observer. In the void, you become the pure observer. You are no longer the observer of your life. You are consciousness without an object. In this state, you access quantum superposition. You remember the double-slit experiment. When not observed, the electron is a wave, possibility. When you enter the void, you become the wave. You become non-local. You cease to be trapped in your body and in your city. Your consciousness expands and mixes with the cosmic information network. This is where miraculous healings and brilliant ideas happen. Einstein, Tesla, Edison, they all describe states today. They describe states of dreaming or abstraction, where ideas fell to them from nowhere. They didn't fall from nowhere. They fell from the 0-point field. They knew how to turn off their logical mind, ego, to download information from the divine cloud. You have the same Wi-Fi connection, but your line is busy now. Your line is occupied by your daily neurosis. Hang up the phone, free the line. V0 resistance, superconductivity. Do you know what a superconductor is? It is a material that, when cooled significantly, allows electricity to flow without any resistance. Zero energy loss. The void is a mental superconductor. In your daily life, your desires encounter resistance. Desire. I want to start a business. Resistance. But I might fail now. What will my parents say? I don't have money. The current is lost in the form of heat, anxiety, and does not reach the bulb, manifestation. In the void, there are no beliefs. There is no past. There are no parents. There is no money. There is only pure intention. If you plant your intention in the state of void today, it travels without resistance. It is an arrow that does not rub against the air. It reaches the target instantly. Therefore, 5 minutes of intention in the void are worth more than 10 years of effort in the noise. You are operating in a medium of spiritual superconductivity, for the practice of death dying to live. Egyptian initiates went through a terrifying rite. They were put into a stone sarcophagus in the absolute darkness of the Great Pyramid for 3 days. No light, no sound, no food. The goal was to induce the terror of the void to overcome it. At first, the mind hallucinates. The ego screams. The fear of death is total. But if the initiate held out, a moment of rupture arrived. The ego surrendered. the noise turned off, and suddenly, peace, infinite light in the darkness. The initiate died and was reborn as a master. He realized that he was not his body or his mind, but the eternal consciousness that inhabits the void today now. You do not need a sarcophagus, although darkness retreats exist and are potent. You can practice the little death every day. When you go to sleep, there is a moment just before losing consciousness, a moment when you are no longer awake, but not yet dreaming. It is the hypnagogic state, the frontier of the void right now. Most people use that moment to worry about tomorrow. Fatal error. The initiate uses that moment to consciously slide into the none. Surrender to the darkness with confidence. Say, I let go of everything. I am nothing. I am the void. And right there, plant your seed for the next day. It is the most fertile moment. Servants, how to stop the world, the technique. Castaneda called it stopping the world. It is the act of stopping the constant flow of interpretation. You look at a tree and your mind says, tree, green, oak, pretty. That is noise. Looking at the tree and not putting a label on it, only perceiving its existence, and that is silence. That is seeing the tree from the void. Exercise of the space between thoughts. Close your eyes. Observe your thoughts as if they were mice coming out of a hole. Wait for the next thought. Watch it pass. I am hungry. Now, pay attention to the space that exists just after that thought leaves and before the next one comes. I have to call. There is a gap today now. There is a gap, a microsecond of silence. Your mission is to lengthen that gap, submerge yourself in that hole. That hole is the door to the 0-point field. At first it lasts milliseconds. With practice, you can expand it to seconds or minutes. In those minutes of the gap, you do not age, you do not get sick, you do not suffer. You are in eternity. You are charging your battery with the 0-point energy. Felt? The power of nothingness, Wu Wei. In Taoism, the Oriental brother of Hermeticism, they speak of Wu Wei, action without action, or action from the void. The master does not force things. He waits in the void until he feels the natural impulse of the universe, and then he acts with minimum precision and maximum impact. It is like a sniper in your world now. The rookie soldier fires 1,000 bullets. Lots of noise, little effectiveness. The sniper spends hours in absolute silence, motionless, empty. He becomes the environment. And with a single shot, one action, he changes history. Thoth invites you to be a sniper of reality. Spend more time in the void and calibrate now. Spend less time running like a headless chicken. Your effectiveness will multiply 1,000-fold. Nice, healing in the void. The human body has a brutal regenerative intelligence. It knows how to heal from almost everything. Why doesn't it always do it? Because your mind, the noise, interferes. Stress, fear, and anxiety are signals that block cell repair processes. When you enter the deep void, you take your hands off the wheel today now. You stop interfering. And then biological intelligence, which is part of the field, says, finally the boss shut up, let's get to work. And it begins to repair tissues, to kill viruses, to balance hormones. Miraculous healings usually occur when the patient surrenders, when he says, I can't take it anymore, I give up. In that surrender, he enters the void, he stops fighting, and the body heals. Do not wait until you are dying to surrender. Surrender to the void every day for 20 minutes to stay healthy. X the fear of madness. There is a warning on the path to the void. When you begin to dissolve your ego, you may feel vertigo, you may feel that you are going crazy or that you are going to disappear. It is the guardian of the threshold. The ego throws panic at you so that you return to the safety of your neuroses in your world today now. If you feel that vertigo, be glad. It means you are close, you are about to break the eggshell. Do not step back. Breathe through the fear. Say to yourself, I am safe. I am infinite. What is dying is my mask, not me. Cross the threshold. On the other side is not madness. There is supraconsciousness. Taz practice. Immersion in the none. We are going to practice entering the field. 1. Darkness. Do it at night or with a sleep mask. Total silence. 2. The light body. Lie down. Relax every muscle until you don't feel the body. Imagine that your body dissolves into atoms of light and disperses in the room. You no longer have a shape right now. 3. The fall. Visualize that you float in an infinite black space like outer space, but warm and welcoming. It is the mother's womb of the cosmos. 4. The mantra. Do not use words. Use the sound of silence. Listen to the internal hum in your ears. Concentrate on that beep. It is the vibration of your neurons today. 5. The fusion. Feel that there are no limits. You don't know where you end and where the universe begins. You are the black space. 6. The sowing. When you feel a deep and timeless peace, release a single image of your desire, a symbol. Let it float in the darkness. Do not push it. Just let it go today now. Let it go like someone dropping a coin into a bottomless pit. 7. The return. Trust that the pit has received the coin. Slowly return to your body. Sleep. By mastering the entry into the none, you become a conscious co-creator who builds their reality from the very source of all that is, was, and will be today. Chapter 9. The Eternal Now. Time Hacking. Time is a stubborn illusion. Einstein said it, but Thoth wrote it millennia before in the temples of the Nile. You believe your life is a straight line going from birth to death, passing through the present. You believe the past is gone and unalterable, and that the future does not yet exist and is uncertain. You are wrong. The universe does not function like an arrow. It functions like a movie disc. All the frames, your birth, your now, and your death, are printed on the disc simultaneously. You are only the needle that reads one song at a time. But song number 10, your future success, already exists, recorded and complete, waiting for you to move the needle. Today we are going to stop waiting for the music and learn to move the record player's arm. Human beings live enslaved by the god Chronos, linear time. We live running. I don't have time. The rice is overcooking. I'm late. This temporal anxiety is the root of suffering. You get depressed about the past or anxious about the future. By doing this, you miss the only place where power resides, the now. The code of Thoth and quantum physics coincide in a vision called the block universe. Imagine a loaf of sliced bread. Each slice is a moment in time. You live in the middle slice, present. But the fact that you are in the middle slice does not mean the end exists. The loaf of bread is complete. The end is already baked. This means that your future self, the one who is already rich, wise, and free, exists right now. It is vibrating at a different frequency in an adjacent slice of hyperspace. You do not have to create your future from scratch. You have to tune into it. The illusion of linearity. Why do we perceive time in a straight line if it is a block? Because of biological survival. Your brain is designed to process data in sequence so you don't go crazy. If you saw all your past and future at once, your brain would collapse. It is a protective filter. But this filter has become a prison in your life today now. It makes us believe that the cause always precedes the effect in time. Cause, work today. Effect, get paid at the end of the month. In the quantum world, this is not so. Retrocausality exists. The future can influence the past. Experiments suggest that a decision taken in the present can alter the path a particle took in the past. This breaks human logic. It means that what you do today can rewrite your history. And it means that your successful future may be sending signals back in time to guide you today. Those hunches or intuitions you have are not coincidence. They are memories of your future. By tuning into these signals, you align with your path. Remembering the future, reverse memory. Memory is a bidirectional faculty. You remember the past because you have a neural path to it. Thoth teaches that the initiate can develop the memory of the future. If the future already exists in the quantum field, you can access it just as you access a childhood memory. The sensation is different in your world right now, today now. The memory of the past feels like archived data. The memory of the future feels like vivid imagination, accompanied by emotional certainty. Neville Goddard called it living in the end. When you visualize your success and feel the real emotion of having it, you are not imagining in the sense of fantasy. You are accessing now. You are accessing the future bread slice. You are remembering what already occurred in that timeline. Déjà vu is a glitch in the matrix. It is a moment when your conscious brain accidentally connects with future memory and says, "Wait, I've already lived this." Yes, you have already lived it, in the eternal now. The trick is to provoke conscious déjà vus. It is walking through your poor house, remembering your future mansion with such intensity that the current reality seems like the dream and the mansion the reality. By anchoring this future memory, you pull that timeline toward your present experience with irresistible force. 3. Timeline jumping. If time is not a line but infinite parallel lines multiverse, then you do not advance toward the future. You jump between lines. Every time you make a decision, you change trains. Line A. You continue with fear. Future, poverty. Line B. You overcome fear. Future, success. Both futures exist now, today, now. You choose which train you board with your vibratory frequency. The quantum leap occurs when you change your vibration so radically that you disappear from line A and appear on line B. In your experience, it seems your life improves quickly. From the outside, it looks like a miracle in your world today now. For physics, you simply changed coordinates in space-time. To jump, you have to stop looking at the old track. If you keep talking about your problems, your past, your traumas, you are buying a ticket to stay on train A. To jump to train B, you have to start speaking, thinking, and feeling like the passenger of train B now. You have to be the future now. By embodying the state of your desired outcome before it physically appears, you force the collapse of that specific timeline into your tangible reality, bypassing the linear delay through the power of your current frequency. For the anxiety of waiting, the dream killer. Here is the death trap of linear time, waiting. We say, "I want to be rich." Implicitly, we say, "Now I am not. I will be in the future." We create a temporal distance, an abyss between me and what I want. That abyss is filled with anxiety. When will it arrive? Why is it taking so long? I've been visualizing for a month now. Every time you look at the clock and ask when, you are affirming absence. You are confirming that you do not have it, and the universe proves you right. Correct, you don't have it. Keep waiting. Waiting is a vibratory state of lack. If you are waiting for the bus, it is because you are not on the bus. The Code of Thoth tells you, kill the waiting. How? By bringing the future to the present. Close the gap. Feel that it is already done. The feeling of "it is already done" is one of deep peace and gratitude. When you already have something, you don't wait for it. You are not anxious, you are calm today in your world now. If you manage to feel that tranquility of "it's already mine," even if you don't see it physically, you have collapsed time. The universe does not understand clocks, it understands frequencies. If you vibrate in "I already have it," the universe hurries to materialize it to eliminate the paradox. Healing the past, emotional retrocausality. Many people are chained to their past, traumas, errors, pain. They believe the past is an immovable stone. Thoth says, the past is as fluid as the future. The physical facts perhaps occurred, but the energetic effect of the past lives in the now. If today you change the interpretation of the past, you change its effect. You change its effect on your biology and your destiny. This is practical retrocausality. Review exercise. Every night, review your day. If you had an argument or a failure, do not go to sleep with that fact recorded. Rewrite it. In your mind, visualize the scene exactly as you would have liked it to occur now. Visualize that you responded calmly. Visualize that you won. Feel the relief. By doing this, you are overwriting the code on your neural hard drive. Your subconscious does not distinguish between the physical fact and the imagined review. It will stay with the last version, the positive one. By cleaning your past every night, you wake up without accumulated karma. You can go further and review childhood traumas. Enter meditation, visit your child self, hug them, give them the love they lacked, and change the scene. Literally, you are changing the timeline from the root. You will see that by healing the past, your present problems disappear because the cause has been retroactively neutralized. Feel the power of now, the access point. The only moment in which you can think, feel, act, or change is now. You cannot breathe yesterday. You cannot breathe tomorrow. You can only breathe now. The ego always wants to escape the now. The ego lives in psychological time, blaming the past or fearing the future. The soul lives in the eternal now, today, now. When you enter a flow state, time disappears. You are painting, running, loving, or working on your passion, and suddenly 5 hours have passed and it felt like 5 minutes. That is time dilation. You have entered the soul's frequency. You have stepped out of Chronos and entered into Kairos, today, in your world now. In that state of no time, you are infinitely productive and happy. Your goal is to live most of your life in that state. Stop looking at the clock. Submerge yourself in the action. When you are totally present, anxiety dies, because anxiety needs future to exist. Without imaginary future, there is no fear. Theos, the Akashic Records, the Library of Time. The concept of the Akashic Records is the cosmic database, where everything that was, is, and will be is recorded. It is the hard drive of the block universe. Thoth is the scribe of these records. Accessing the records is not magic. It is access to non-local information. You can consult your book today in your life now. You can see your probable futures. It is not a prophecy carved in stone. It is a reading of probabilities. If I keep vibrating like this is the end of the book. If you don't like the end, you change the vibration today, and the book is rewritten instantly. The future is plastic until it crystallizes now in your life. Do not go to fortune tellers to have them tell you your future. That is giving away your power. Create your future. The best fortune teller is the one who writes the script, not the one who reads it. By becoming the author of your own narrative, you ensure that the pages of your life unfold according to your sovereign will. Wait, active patience, gestation. If time does not exist, why do things take time to manifest? Because of the density of matter, law of rhythm. But there is a difference between waiting, passive, anxious, and gestating, active, confident. The pregnant woman does not wait with anxiety. She knows the process is inevitable. She lives in an active patience now. She takes care of herself, eats well, prepares the baby's room. She already acts as a mother before seeing the baby. You must act as a millionaire, healthy, loved person before seeing the manifestation. Prepare the ground. If you ask for a new car, have you cleaned your garage? If you ask for a partner, have you made space today? Have you made space in your closet and your schedule? If you don't make physical space, you are telling the universe, deep down, I don't believe they're coming. Act as if the visitor were about to ring the doorbell. That accelerates time. By creating the vacuum for your desire, you compel the material world to fill it quickly. Quantum acceleration, collapsing time. Can time be accelerated? Yes, time is relative to gravity and speed, Einstein. In spiritual terms, time is relative to the intensity of emotion. An intense emotion, deep love, panic, fear, collapses time. A trauma, intense fear, is recorded instantly and lasts for years. Instant learning right now, today, in your life now. A miracle, intense faith, occurs instantly. If you want to accelerate your results, increase the intensity of your vision. Do not visualize for 1 hour with a lukewarm emotion. Visualize for 5 minutes with an explosive, heartbreaking, ecstatic emotion. Cry with joy in your visualization. Feel your hair stand on end today now. That energetic intensity bends space-time and brings the 2 points, you and your desire, together as if you folded a sheet of paper. The wormhole is emotion. By supercharging your intentions with high-voltage feeling, you bridge the gap between now and then in a single pulse of creative power. X, the someday trap. The most dangerous word in the dictionary is someday. Someday I will travel. Someday I will write the book. Someday is a code for never. Someday is not a day of the week. In the calendar there exist Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Someday day does not exist. If you say, I'll do it tomorrow, your subconscious understands today. It understands that today it is not done. And when tomorrow arrives, it becomes today again, so you push it to tomorrow again. It is the carrot tied to the donkey's stick. You never reach it. The code of Thoth demands immediacy. Do you want to write? Write a line today. Do you want to travel by the suitcase today, right now? Anchor the future in the present with a physical action. Break the inertia of tomorrow. Bring heaven to earth now. By taking the smallest step in the present, you signal to the universe that your choice is real, initiating the movement of the material world toward the destination you have decreed in your world today now. Tertu practice, the bridge to the future self. We are going to take a journey in time. 1. Relaxation. Enter alpha state. 2. The hallway. Imagine a long hallway with many doors. Each door is a year. Walk forward. 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. 3. The encounter. Open the door to 5 years in the future. Enter. Allí te encuentras contigo mismo today in your world now. There you meet yourself. But it is your elite version. Look at them. How do they dress? How do they stand? What look do they have? They look radiant, rich, at peace. 4. The dialogue. Approach them. Ask, what was the key step you took today to get here? Listen to the answer. Your intuition will speak to you today. 5. The fusion. Now the most important part. Do not say goodbye. Hug them. And as you hug them, merge with them. Feel how their energy, their memories, and their codes enter your current body. 6. The return. Open your eyes. You are no longer who you were before. You now carry the future software in the present hardware. Walk the rest of the day with that energy. By dwelling in the frequency of your successful self, you make the manifestation of that reality an absolute certainty in your world, today, now. Chapter 10. The Pineal Gland, the all-seeing eye. Look at the staff of Osiris. At the tip it has a pine cone. Look at the statues of Buddha. His hairstyle is shaped like a pine cone. Look at the Pope in the Vatican. He carries a staff with a pine cone, and in the central courtyard of the Vatican there is a giant bronze sculpture of a pine cone. Why do all ancient and modern cultures venerate a simple conifer fruit? Because it is not a fruit. It is the geometric representation of your pineal gland, the Eye of Horus, the third eye. Thoth teaches us that we are not blind, but that our lens is dirty. You have an organic technology embedded in the center of your brain, capable of seeing the invisible, but the modern world has designed a chemical war to turn it into stone. Today we are going to decalcify your antenna. For centuries, materialistic science mocked the concept of the third eye. They said it was a mystical fantasy. They called the pineal gland the atrophied eye. They called it a useless evolutionary vestige, like the appendix. How wrong they were, or how well they lied. Modern science has discovered that the pineal gland is not just an endocrine gland that regulates sleep. It is a photoreceptor. Yes, it has retinal tissue. It has cones and rods, just like your physical eyes. And it is connected to the visual cortex. This raises a disturbing question. Why do you have an eye buried in the deep darkness of your brain where physical light does not reach? If it is not there to see external light, what light is it designed to see? The answer is the inner light, the astral light. It is the scanner of the quantum field. Thoth, in the Emerald Tablets, speaks of opening the eye of vision. He was not speaking metaphorically. He was talking about activating a piece of biological hardware. When this gland is activated, it stops secreting only melatonin and starts synthesizing advanced neurochemicals. Chemicals like pinealine and endogenous DMT that allow the brain to tune into reality frequencies that are normally invisible. It is your cosmic Wi-Fi card. If it is off, you only pick up the local intranet, your 3D physical reality. If it is on, you pick up the internet, the multiverse, the Akashic records, pure intuition. Try the secret of the crystal, piezoelectricity. In the late 90s, scientists discovered something that changed the game and validated Hermeticism. The interior of the pineal gland is not just soft tissue, it is full of water and calcite microcrystals, calcium carbonate. These crystals have geometric shapes, rhombohedral and hexagonal. And what property do quartz or calcite crystals have? They are piezoelectric. Piezoelectricity is the ability to transform mechanical pressure into electricity, and vice versa. It is how microphones, crystal radios, and quartz watches work. They are transducers. They receive a vibration and convert it into an electrical signal. This means your head has a literal crystalline radio transmitter, receiver. When you meditate, chant mantras, or breathe rhythmically, you create a vibration in the cerebrospinal fluid. That vibration hits the pineal crystals. The crystals, by piezoelectric effect, are activated and begin to glow, bioluminescence. They generate an electromagnetic field. That field tunes into waves of the zero-point field. Divine inspiration is not magic. It is a data download received by your crystal antenna and decoded by your brain into images or ideas. You are a biological radio. Turn to DMT, the spirit molecule. The pineal is the brain's alchemical factory. During the day, it produces serotonin, the hormone for being awake and active. When darkness falls, if it is real darkness, the pineal takes the serotonin and transforms it into melatonin, the hormone of sleep and repair. But that's if the energy rises enough, through kundalini breathing, deep meditation, prolonged darkness, or clinical death. The pineal goes one step further. It takes the melatonin and methylates it. It chemically transforms it into dimethyltryptamine, DMT. DMT is known as the spirit molecule. It is the most potent psychedelic known to man, but it is endogenous. Your body makes it. When the brain is flooded with natural DMT, the veil of time and space dissolves. You perceive higher dimensions geometrically. You feel a total connection with the all, the monad. You access information you didn't know. The ancient Egyptians consumed the bread of light, monoatomic gold, and used rituals of darkness to stimulate this production. They knew that the pharaoh could not rule with human logic alone. He needed to consult the gods. He needed pineal DMT to see the lines of future probability. Today, most people never experience a natural DMT bath in their entire lives, except at birth and death. They live disconnected from the source. Thirdly, the calcification conspiracy. Here we enter dark territory. If this gland is so powerful, why does no one teach you to use it in school? Why does modern society seem designed to destroy it? The answer is control. A population with the third eye open is ungovernable. They have no fear. They don't believe the media's lies. They have intuition. They see the hidden intentions of leaders. To keep people as sheep, NPCs, you need to blind the cyclops. You need to calcify the pineal. Calcification occurs when the gland's crystals are coated with calcium phosphate, forming a hard shell. The gland becomes an inert stone. In autopsies of average Westerners, the pineal sounds like a stone when cut. It is dead. What calcifies it? Fluoride. It is the #1 enemy. Fluoride, in tap water and toothpaste, accumulates magnetically in the pineal more than in any other organ. It turns the crystals into stone. Processed food and sugar, they create an acidic and calcareous environment. Blue light, screens, it tricks the pineal into believing it is always daytime. It atrophies its production cycle. Electromagnetic fields, Wi-Fi 5G, they interfere with piezoelectric sensitivity. The result is a zombie humanity. People who only believe in what they see and touch. People without imagination, without spiritual connection, depressed and anxious. They have lost their eye. IV, the Eye of Horus and the thalamus. If you cut the human brain in half, sagittal cut, you will see that the structure around the pineal and the thalamus is identical to the Egyptian drawing of the Eye of Horus. It is not similar, it is exact. The eyebrow of the Eye of Horus is the corpus callosum. The pupil is the thalamus. The spiral below is the medulla oblongata. The Egyptians left us an anatomical diagram. They were telling us, here, the power is in here. Thoth taught that consciousness enters through the pineal and is distributed by the thalamus to the hemispheres. If the door pineal is dirty, consciousness enters distorted. Decalcification, the initiate's diet. The first step to regaining your power is not to meditate. It is to clean. You cannot tune a radio full of mud. You need an aggressive decalcification protocol. The initiate cares for their biology as a temple. Eliminate fluoride, high-quality water filters and fluoride-free toothpaste. This is non-negotiable. Iodine. Iodine helps eliminate fluoride from the body through urine. Seaweed, nascent iodine supplements. Turmeric and cocoa, Studies suggest turmeric helps reverse brain damage and decalcify. Pure cocoa is a pineal stimulant. Apple cider vinegar, malic acid, helps dissolve calcium deposits. Sunlight, sun gazing, looking at the sun, during safe hours, first hour of sunrise or last of sunset, directly stimulates the retina and the pineal. Sunlight is photonic food. By doing this, the stone begins to break. The gland regains its flexibility and crystalline capacity. You will begin to notice that your dreams become vivid, HD. Your intuition skyrockets. You feel pressure in the center of your forehead. It is a good sign. The eye is opening. Vase, mechanical activation, breathing and pressure. Once clean, it must be turned on. Remember, the crystals are piezoelectric. They need pressure. There is a fluid that runs through your spinal column and bathes your brain, the cerebrospinal fluid, CSF. This fluid is rich in salts and minerals. It is an electrical conductor. When you breathe rhythmically by moving the diaphragm and contract the perineum muscles, Muladhara, you pump this liquid upward through the column toward the brain. If you do it with force and hold your breath, you increase intracranial pressure. The liquid hits the pineal. Mechanical pressure compresses the crystals, spark. An electric field is generated. This is what Joe Dispenza teaches, and it is what yogis have done for millennia, Kundalini. It is not mysticism, it is biological hydraulics. You are using your body as a hydraulic pump to turn on a light bulb in your head. Sers, vibratory activation, the humming of the bee. Sound is another key. The bones of the skull are resonant cavities. There is an ancient technique called Brahmari Pranayama, bee breath. It consists of covering the ears and eyes and making a deep humming sound with the throat, while exhaling. This vibration resonates directly in the center of the brain. It makes the gland vibrate. It is like cleaning glasses with ultrasound. It breaks calcifications and activates piezoelectricity. Thoth used chants in the resonance chambers of the pyramids, which are tuned to specific frequencies, to induce altered states. You can use your own voice. Chant mantras, Om, Aum. Feel how the center of your head vibrates. That is the signal. 30. Darkness, the laboratory of the soul. Light inhibits the pineal. Darkness activates it. To have real visions, you need total darkness, not low light. Absolute darkness. If you sleep with a standby LED light from the TV, or light comes in from the street lamp, your pineal does not reach 100% production. Use a quality mask or blackout blinds. Try darkness meditation. Stay awake in absolute darkness with your eyes open. Having no external visual stimulus, the brain begins to search for an internal signal. The pineal turns on to illuminate the darkness. You will begin to see lights, geometries, violet or green colors that float. They are not hallucinations. It is your radar turning on. It is the beginning of remote viewing. Nice. What do you see when you see remote viewing? The biggest misunderstanding is thinking that opening the third eye is seeing ghosts all day. No. Opening the third eye is seeing patterns and truth. It is clairvoyance, clarity of vision. You look at a person and know if they are trustworthy. You see their intention behind their social mask. You look at a complex problem and see the simple solution instantly. You see the underlying structure. You look at the future and see the probabilities. You know which path to take. It is a supreme tactical advantage. It is like having X-ray vision in a world of the blind. People will lie to you and you will smile because you see the lie floating in their field. The media will sell you fear and you will see the threads of manipulation. Nothing can deceive the one eye. X, the staff of Hermes, the Kundalini. Thoth carries the caduceus, a staff with two entwined snakes rising to a winged sphere or a pine cone. The two snakes are the nervous system, Ida and Pingala, sympathetic and parasympathetic. The staff is the spinal column. The winged sphere is the activated and illuminated pineal. The message is clear. To fly wings, you have to raise the energy from the base, sex on survival, to the peak, spirit on vision. If your energy gets trapped in the lower chakras, you only think about food, sex and security, the pineal never receives enough voltage to turn on. It is a 1000-watt bulb connected to a 1.5-volt battery. It barely flickers. You need to sublimate the energy. Chapter 7. Gender. Temporary chastity or tantra are used to accumulate voltage. When you have so much energy, the body vibrates. It rises and hits the door of heaven, pineal. And the door opens. Chaos, dangers and warnings. Opening the third eye prematurely without a strong nervous system and a balanced mind can be dangerous. If you open vision but have much subconscious fear, you will see your own monsters projected. You will see demons. They are your own shadows. For this reason, the Code of Thoth insists first on balance, chapter 4 and 5, and ethics, mat. If you are not at peace, neutral, do not open the door. First, stabilize the mind. Then, turn on the projector. If you feel too much pressure in the head, strong headaches or anxiety, stop. Ground yourself, walk barefoot, eat heavy food. Do not force the flower, water it and let it open to the sun. Toiting practice, Trataka meditation, candle. A safe and powerful technique to stimulate the ocular pineal connection. 1. Environment, darkness. Sit with your back straight. 2. The focus, light a candle and place it at eye level, half a meter away. 3. Fixity. Look at the flame fixedly without blinking for as long as you can. Let your eyes water a bit, cleaning. 4. The impression. When you can't take it anymore, close your eyes. 5. The phosphene. You will see the image of the flame, in negative complementary color, floating in your internal darkness. 6. The target. Concentrate on that residual image. Bring it to the brow, third eye. Keep it still there. 7. The door. When the image disappears, try to maintain attention on that empty black point. 8. The ray. Imagine a white light ray enters through your crown and exits through your forehead. Do this 10 minutes a day. You are training the focus muscle. Chapter 11. Merkaba, the light vehicle. In the Bible, the prophet Ezekiel describes a chariot of fire, with wheels within wheels full of eyes, that came down from heaven. Ufologists say it was an alien ship. Religious people say it was an angel. Thoth laughs at both. That chariot did not come from outside, it came from within. Ezekiel saw his own activated energetic geometric structure. He saw his Merkaba. You are not a body of flesh that has a spirit. You are a spirit that drives a very complex light vehicle, which in turn drives a vehicle of flesh. The problem is that you have the light vehicle parked in the garage, rusty and without fuel for thousands of years. Today we are going to put in the key. We are going to start the counter-rotation motor, and we are going to turn you into a stellar traveler. Until now, we have worked on the software and on the biological hardware. But to move through the multiverse, you need a vehicle. If you want to go to the moon, you cannot go walking. You need a rocket. If you want to go to the fifth dimension, you cannot go with your dense physical body. You need your light body. In ancient Egypt, this technology was taught only to pharaohs and high priests in the final stage of initiation. The word is Merkaba. 3 syllables, 3 codes. Mer, light, 2 counter-rotating light fields. K, spirit, your individual consciousness. Ba, body, reality, your physical interpretation of the world. Together they mean the spirit and the body surrounded by rotating fields of light that transport consciousness. This is not New Age mysticism. It is sacred geometry and field physics. Your physical body is surrounded by an electromagnetic field. Science measures it. But that field is not an amorphous blotch. It has a precise geometric structure. It is a tetrahedral star, a 3D Star of David. 2 pyramids intertwined today. One points to the sky and another points to the earth. You are in the center. When this field is inactive, it measures about 16 to 18 meters in diameter, but it is still, or moves very slowly. You are a cosmic pedestrian. When you activate the Merkaba, these pyramids begin to rotate in opposite directions, at speeds near light now. They create a disk of energy. They create a force field. You become an autonomous sun, the anatomy of your spaceship. To pilot the ship, you have to know the dashboard. Your Merkaba is composed of 3 star tetrahedrons superimposed in the same space. But to simplify the activation, we focus on 2. 1. The sun tetrahedron, masculine, electric. The upper tip points upward. The base triangle is at the height of your knees now. It represents the Father, logic, the sky. This tetrahedron must rotate to the left, counterclockwise seen from inside. 2. The Earth tetrahedron, feminine, magnetic. The lower tip points downward. The base triangle is at the height of your chest, shoulders. It represents the mother emotion, the Earth today now. This tetrahedron must rotate to the right, clockwise seen from inside. You are sitting inside this intersection. When both rotate at the correct speed, Fibonacci ratio 34:21, they create a unified field. They create a torus, an energy field shaped like a donut or apple that recycles itself infinitely now in your life. It is the ultimate free energy motor. When your Merkaba is on, you no longer depend on the energy of other people. You don't vampirize or on the energy of food alone. You feed directly from prana that enters through the poles of your vehicle. You become energetically self-sufficient. Toast the ultimate shield, vibratory immunity. We live in a vibratory toxic world. 5G waves, collective anger, envy, fear news. Most people are sponges. They absorb this garbage because their auric field is weak and static. They are ships with holes in the hull. When you activate the Merkaba, you create a brutal centrifugal force right now, today, in your life now. Imagine a fan spinning at maximum speed. If you throw a stone at it, the stone bounces violently. It cannot penetrate the blades. An active Merkaba is that fan. If someone sends you hate, it bounces. If you enter a dense place, it does not affect you. Astral parasites and low-vibration entities cannot touch you now. They literally burn if they try to approach your spinning frequency. This is true immunity. It is not hiding from the world. It is vibrating so fast that the world's dirt cannot adhere to you. The initiate walks through hell without getting burned because he carries his own portable air conditioning, his Merkaba, today. 3. The magician's magnetism, self-gravity. In physics, a large mass creates gravity. It attracts smaller objects. An active Merkaba increases your energetic mass. You become heavy in the metaphysical sense. You have gravity. This explains supernatural charisma. Have you met someone who, when they enter a room, everyone turns their head right now, today now? They are not handsome, not rich, but they have presence. Their Merkaba is spinning, their field occupies the whole room. People unconsciously feel that energy and are attracted to it like moths to light. This is crucial for material success. If you are a salesman, your Merkaba envelops the client today now. It makes them feel safe and confident. If you are a leader, your Merkaba sustains the team. If you seek a partner, your Merkaba acts as a lighthouse of quantum pheromones. The law of attraction stops being a mental effort and becomes a gravitational phenomenon. You do not chase things. Things fall into your orbit now. Third-dimensional jump, ascension. Thoth did not use the Merkaba just for protection or money. He used it to ascend. To ascend is not to die and go to heaven. Ascension is changing frequency while you are alive, to disappear from one dimension and appear in another. The Emerald Tablets say, deep in the silence first you must wait now in your life, until you are free from desire, free from the longing to speak in the silence. Thoth used the vehicle to travel to the stars, to the halls of Amenti, and to other realities to learn. Today, you may not want to physically teleport to Mars yet, but you can use the Merkaba to jump timelines today in your world now. When your vehicle spins, you disconnect from the rigidity of the 3D matrix. Reality becomes liquid. You can travel to the version of Earth where you are already free and anchor that reality here. The Merkaba is the time machine and the teleporter. V. Spherical breathing, the fuel. The Merkaba motor does not run on gasoline. It runs on prana, breath of life. Most people breathe only to oxygenate the blood. The initiate breathes to charge the vehicle. The technique is spherical breathing. Visualize a tube of light that passes through your body, from a handspan above your head today now, to a handspan below your feet, the central axis. Upon inhaling, imagine you absorb bright white light through both ends of the tube, from above and below at the same time. The light meets at your navel. Upon colliding, the light expands and forms a sphere of light around your body today, in your life right now today. Upon exhaling, the sphere becomes brighter and denser. If you do this consciously, you are filling the tank. Without sufficient prana, trying to spin the tetrahedrons is like trying to start a Ferrari without gas. The engine coughs and stops. Conscious breathing is the accelerator pedal now. Voice programming the vehicle, Merkaba AI. Your Merkaba is not a dead machine. It is a conscious biocomputer. It has intelligence, it is alive, it is connected to your DNA. You can and should program it. Just as you tell a Tesla where to go, you give commands to your Merkaba. Once activated, you can give it orders right now, today, in your life now. Merkaba, program yourself for absolute protection during my sleep. Merkaba, program yourself to attract ideal clients today. Merkaba, program yourself for accelerated healing of my liver. The field will obey. It will keep the intention spinning around you, even if you get distracted by other things today now. It is your energetic butler, but remember, it obeys the clear voice of command, Heka. If you doubt, the field hesitates. If you fear, the field contracts. You are the pilot. The vehicle is perfect, but it responds to the skill of the one at the wheel. 7. Activation symptoms, ascension flu. When you start to move energy at this level, your physical body may complain. It is used to being dense and slow. Upon accelerating the vibration, the body begins to expel toxins, physical and emotional, at high speed. You may feel extreme fatigue or inexhaustible energy, heat in the spine today now, buzzing in the ears, high frequencies, intense lucid dreams, flu without a virus, purge. People who suddenly disappear from your life. Do not be afraid. It is the healing crisis. Your density is falling away. To make room for the light, drink plenty of water, rest. Ground yourself to discharge voltage today now. You are passing from being a carbon human to a silicon crystal human. It is a metamorphosis. It hurts, but the result is the butterfly. Beat, planetary Merkaba and grid connection. You have a Merkaba. The Earth has a Merkaba. The Sun has a Merkaba. The galaxy has a Merkaba. It is fractal. When you activate your personal vehicle, you plug into the network of higher vehicles. You synchronize with the Earth's Merkaba. This means the Earth protects you today in your life right now, today now. You become part of the planet's immune system. Nature recognizes you. Animals approach you. The weather seems to respect you. You are flowing with the massive electromagnetic current of the planet instead of fighting it. You become an active node in Indra's net in your world, right now, today now. If enough humans activate their Merkaba at the same time, they create a global protection network that can dissolve wars or catastrophes. That is the true work of light workers. The physics is real. Thus the danger of the inverse Merkaba. There is a serious warning. The Merkaba can spin backward. If a person lives in absolute fear, deep hate and obsession with control and manipulation, black magic, their tetrahedrons can start to spin in the opposite direction. This creates an inverted Merkaba today in your life now. Instead of generating light and life, it acts as a black hole. It absorbs energy from others, extreme vampirism. It creates chaos and destruction around it. The person becomes powerful temporarily, but disconnects from the source. Eventually that field collapses and consumes the user now in your life. It is the second death spoken of in scriptures, the disintegration of the soul. Therefore Mart, ethics balance, is the prerequisite for activation. Only unconditional love can maintain the stable and eternal spin of the Merkaba of life. Do not try to activate this to harm anyone. You will destroy yourself. X practice, Merkaba activation meditation. The complete activation has 17 complex breaths. Here I give you the essential version to start the motor, based on intention and visual geometry. Preparation. Sit straight back. Close your eyes. Connect with the void. Phase 1. Charge prana. Visualize the tube of light today in your world now. Inhale. Light enters through top and bottom, collides at the navel. Exhale. A bright light sphere forms around you, about 5 meters diameter. Repeat 5 times. Phase 2. Visualize tetrahedrons. Visualize the sun. Tetrahedron, masculine. Pyramid up, gold color, tip overhead, base at knees now. Visualize the earth tetrahedron, feminine. Pyramid down, silver color, tip under feet, base at chest. Feel both pyramids fitted around you. Phase 3, the spin. Say mentally, activate Merkaba. Order Sun tetrahedron to spin left. Order Earth tetrahedron to spin right. Say, speed of light, now. Visualize how they spin so fast they disappear and become a flying disk of light around your hip, a saucer of light extending 18 meters. Phase 4, stabilization. Breathe calmly. Feel the shield. Stay there 5 to 10 minutes. To finish, don't turn it off. Let it keep spinning during the day to day. Chapter 12, The Scribe, Rewriting the Script. Thoth is known as the Scribe of the Gods. In the funerary papyri, he always appears with a pen and a palette noting the verdict of the soul. Legend says that Thoth wrote reality before it existed, that the physical world is nothing more than Thoth's ink drying on the papyrus of spacetime. You have been told that words are carried by the wind. It is a lie. Spoken words vibrate and pass, but written words remain. Writing is the supreme magical act. It is taking a thought, air, and turning it into a physical symbol, earth. When you write something in your own hand, you are performing the first act of materialization. Today you will become the scribe of your own legend. We have traveled through the entire system: mind, vibration, rhythm, void, pineal, Merkaba. Now you need a user interface. You need a keyboard to enter commands into the quantum biocomputer. That keyboard is paper and pen. Modern neuroscience has discovered something fascinating. Writing by hand activates areas of the brain that typing does not. It activates the reticular activating system, RS. When you write by hand, your brain interprets that it is important. You are recording physical grooves in your neural network. The RS is the Google filter of your brain. If you write, "I see wealth opportunities," your RAS begins to obsessively scan reality, looking for them, and shows them to you. Before they were there, but you were blind to them. Thoth teaches us the sacred technique of scripting. It is not keeping a dear diary where you vomit your sorrows. It is writing the prophecy of your future as if it were a memory from the past. You are the architect of your own timeline, carving your desired destiny into the physical plane. I, the blank page, the portable nun. A blank sheet of paper is the physical symbol of the void, Chapter 8. It is pure potential. While the sheet is blank, it can be a declaration of war, a love letter, a poem, or a mathematical formula that changes the world. Everything is contained in the white. When you set down the pen, you collapse the wave function today in your world. You choose one reality from among infinite ones. Most people are afraid of the blank page. They are afraid of their own power. The initiate loves the blank page. He knows it is his sovereign territory. On that paper, he is God. No one can contradict what you write in your sacred book. If you write, "I am a millionaire" in that world, it is true. And since as above, so below, that paper truth begins to pressure physical reality until it breaks and molds it. By filling the void with your specific intention, you command the elements of the universe to rearrange themselves according to the blueprint you have inscribed, initiating the process of tangible manifestation right now. 2. The scripting technique, how to write magic. Do not write, "I want to be rich." That affirms lack. Do not write, "I hope I get healed." That affirms doubt. Thoth's syntax is precise. You must write in present or past perfect. Imagine you are writing a diary entry from 5 years in the future. Incorrect example. "Please, universe, I want to have a beach house and have no debts." Correct example. Thoth mode. Today is July 26, 2030. I am sitting on the terrace of my house facing the sea. The sound of the waves relaxes me. I have coffee in my hand and feel immense peace. I just checked my accounts and smile seeing the balance. It is incredible to remember when I had debts 5 years ago and how it all changed. I feel deeply grateful for this freedom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you notice the difference? 1. Present, past, tense. It tricks the brain into believing it already happened. 2. Sensory details. Sound of waves, coffee in hand. This activates the pineal and emotion. 3. Gratitude. The frequency of reception today now. When you write this every morning, you are downloading the file of the future into the present. By embodying the state of fulfillment through your words, you synchronize your current vibration with the reality you are describing, making its physical appearance an inevitable consequence of your focused creative output in your world today. Third, to the Book of Thoth, your personal grimoire. You must have a sacred notebook. Do not use a dirty napkin. Buy a quality notebook. Let it be a pleasure to touch. That is your Book of Thoth. No one else should read it. It is your direct channel with the monad. Every morning, dedicate 10 minutes to writing your reality. Do not copy the same thing like a robot. That bores the subconscious. Write the same goal but from different angles. Monday, write how you feel in your new job. Tuesday, write what the celebration dinner with your family is like. Wednesday, write what clothes you are wearing while you sign the contract. Have fun. Play at being the screenwriter of your movie. If you don't have fun, there is no vibration. And without vibration, there is no manifestation. By infusing your writing with joy and variety, you keep the creative energy fresh and potent, ensuring that the signals you send to the quantum field are vibrant and compelling enough to trigger the swift materialization of your most cherished dreams and objectives right now today. Father blood contract commitment. In ancient times, pacts were signed in blood. I do not ask for physical blood, I ask for red ink. Use red ink for your most important decrees. Red is the color of blood, of life, of the root chakra, materialization. It is an alert code for your subconscious. When you write your main goal, your greater purpose, you write it in red. Sign it at the end. Your signature is your seal of authority. When you sign something, you give it legal validity. Sign your prophecy. By signing, you tell the universe, I, your name, authorize and order this reality. This act of finality anchors your intention with the weight of an official command in your world today now. Burning ships, the transmuting fire. Sometimes you need to erase the old script before writing the new one. If you have traumas, grudges, or limiting beliefs, I am stupid, no one loves me, write them down. Vomit them onto a dirty sheet of paper. Write all your hate, your pain, your victimhood. Get the poison out. And then, burn it, literally today in your world. Put the sheet in a safe bowl and set it on fire. Watch the paper turn to ash and smoke. Fire is the element of rapid transmutation. While it burns, say, it is consummated. This story is dead. I am free. The reptilian brain understands physical rituals. Seeing the paper disappear confirms to it that the problem has disappeared. Now you have clean space for your positive scripting. By purging the remnants of your past, you eliminate the energetic interference that would otherwise disrupt your new creations, allowing you to build your future on a foundation of absolute clarity and unburdened potentiality in your life right now today. Say the letter from the future. This is an advanced exercise. Write a letter to yourself from your future self and the one you met in Chapter 9. Let your future self advise you. Dear your name, I am you 10 years from now. Calm down. Everything is going to be fine. That problem that worries you today is nonsense. It will solve itself. Trust me, we made it. I love you. Reading this letter when you are anxious is pure medicine. It reconnects you with the timeline of success. It gives you the perspective of the eagle, Horus. By listening to the voice of your own realized potential, you transcend the temporary storms of your current situation, anchoring your heart in the certainty of victory. 7. Heart coherence while writing. Do not write in a hurry. Before opening the notebook, take 3 deep breaths. Place your hand on your heart. Feel gratitude for being alive. Raise your vibration, Chapter 3. Only when you feel good, start writing. If you write from desperation, I need money urgently, you impregnate the paper with the vibration of scarcity today now. That paper will radiate scarcity and attract more bills. Paper is an accumulator of psychic charge. Charge it only with gold, love, certainty. By aligning your emotional state with your highest ideals before you put pen to paper, you ensure that every word you write is a potent seed of abundance and power in your life right now. Feed the secret of it is done. At the end of each writing session, write the power words. It is done, it is done, it is done, or in Latin consummatum est. This closes the ritual. It is the enter key of the cosmic keyboard. It means you do not doubt. You are not going to be checking every 5 minutes if it already arrived today in your world right now. You have asked for it, you have paid for it with your energy, and you know the shipment is on its way. You get up from the chair and go about your life, forgetting about the how. The scribe writes the what. The universe takes care of the how. By releasing the outcome, you allow external intention to operate without friction. Tidy final practice, the 7-day manifesto. Your graduation from the Code of Thoth is this task. For the next 7 days without failing a single one. 1. Get up 20 minutes earlier. 2. Do your fire breath and activate your Merkaba. 3. Open your Book of Thoth. 4. Write your ideal day in the present tense, as if you were living it today in your life now. Today I wake up full of energy. I receive wonderful news about money. I have a deep connection with my partner. I feel powerful and at peace. 5. Sign it. 6. Live the day trying to match the script. On the 8th day, reread what you wrote. It will startle you to see how many things were literally fulfilled. You will understand that you have the steering wheel. By consistently projecting your will into written form, you transform your life into a living testament to the power of the Thoth Code, proving that you are indeed the sovereign architect of your own reality in your world today now. Conclusion: you are Thoth. The audio has ended. The background music fades away. My voice will fall silent in a few seconds, and you will be left alone in the silence of your room. That silence is the most important moment of this entire journey, because in that silence, your old self will try to return to your life today now. It will try to tell you how interesting the book was, but well, tomorrow I have to pay the rent and my boss is an idiot. Back to reality. If you allow that thought, you will have failed. You will have turned this sacred knowledge into simple entertainment. We have spent hours talking about Thoth the Atlantean, the thrice great now, the scribe of the gods. Perhaps you have imagined him as a distant being of light, an ancient master with an ibis head sitting on a throne of gold. It is time to reveal the last secret, the one the priests whispered into the pharaoh's ear in the sarcophagus chamber. Thoth does not exist outside of you today in your world now. Thoth is not a god to whom you should pray. Thoth is a state of consciousness. It is the name that the ancients gave to your awakened higher mind. When you activate your observer, when you balance your polarity, when you ignite your Merkaba, and when you take up the pen to write your destiny, you become Thoth today now. Stop looking for saviors. Stop looking at the sky waiting for ships to come down to rescue you. Stop waiting for the economy to improve or for the love of your life to appear to heal you. No one is coming, because you are the one who holds the keys. You are the avatar that the simulation was waiting for right now today in your life. The entire universe has conspired for millions of years, moving stars and galaxies, just to create a moment in which you could be here, now, listening to this and remembering who you are. You already have the code. You know that matter is frozen light. You know that time is an illusion of memory today in your world now. You know that your voice is a programming command. You know that your attention is the laser beam that sculpts reality. You no longer have the excuse of ignorance. From today on, if you suffer, it is because you choose not to use your tools. If you are poor, it is because you choose not to polarize your mind toward wealth now. If you are a victim, it is because you refuse to be the scribe. Responsibility is terrifying, yes, but it is the price of freedom. The slave has no responsibility, but he has chains. The king has all the responsibility, but he has the kingdom. What do you choose? Look at your hands. They are the hands of the Creator today now. Look at your environment. It is the clay that you are going to model. Do not go out there to fight against the world. The world is your mirror. Smile at it. Command it with love and authority. Walk among the sleeping people, not with arrogance, but with the silent compassion of one who knows the secret now in your life now. Be the positive virus in the matrix. Be the glitch in the system that awakens others, just with your vibratory presence. The book of human history is being rewritten right now. The old world is falling to pieces. Chaos is everywhere. Do not fear. It is the rhythm. It is the winter that precedes the spring today in your world now. While others mourn the end of the world, you are here to build the new one. Take your pen, take your scepter, ignite your light vehicle. The simulation is ready for your orders. Do not ask what is going to happen tomorrow. Decide it. You are the scribe, you are the magician, you are Thoth.